Get you out of the mud. Hey, George, just leave it for now. Leave it. It's fine. Because you got that on. Notice. Then when you come in,
Welcome back, everyone, to Madelton Park. We're into the third game of our quadruple header of action in Baseball WA 2022 Little League State Championships, thanks to, of course, Alcohol Think Again. Simply fantastic stuff that Baseball WA have put together for the Easter long weekend. It's been a real bonanza of action. Now, third game. This is Division 2 of the Little League competition, the Alcohol Think Again Little League State Championship. And again, it is the top two teams in the competition that look set to do battle. It is the Carine Cats and the Central Firebirds. Both the sides are set and ready to go. Central Firebirds finished unbeaten with 5 wins from their 5 games. Carine, they only lost 1 from their 5 games. And that one loss came against the Firebirds, 10-5 in the 5-inning game. And it was a really big win for the Firebirds. They dominated from the second innings. But Carine, they were able to come from behind and steal a win over Wanneroo. They surrendered. Pardon me, they surrendered a 6-2 advantage. It was only 6-5 in the second innings. And then Carine almost let the game go in that final of 5 innings, 3-5 in that last inning yesterday here at Madelton Park. But the Carine Cats just escaped with a 14-13 win. This should be a fantastic game for the Division 2 Little League title. Then coming up a little later, we've got the 4th and final game of our quadruple header of action. It has been a great day of baseball so far. Wanneroo Giants winning the first of our games earlier today, and then Carine winning the M60 State Championship. Who's going to take out Division 2? Will it be Carine? That'll have another trophy to their cabinet in 2022. Or will it be the Firebirds that will cap off a fine, unbeaten campaign? Paul Pisk is my name. And once again, it's a great pleasure to have your company in the commentary box for what is going to be an absolute rip snorter of a game. Division 2 of the WA Baseball Little League Championship, thanks to Alcohol Think Again. Sam Crutchett having a bit of a practice there, getting some practice swings under his belt before getting onto the plate to start things off. And it will be the Firebirds, in fact, that'll have a hit first. Make no mistake about it, they're going to be playing with some intent. Field once again in very good condition. We've had good weather all throughout the weekend. It's been very kind throughout the weekend. We haven't had any problems. And now we're going to get things underway. Starting things off for the Firebirds at the top of the first will be number 23, Archie Moffat. They call him Homer Simpson, and I'll have to ponder why. Well, I'll have to speak to the coaches about that, but nonetheless, first pitch from Flynn Nelson. And that is first the ball there. Oh, and that one hitting the back. And he's walking. That was a bit of a hit there, and just having a chat with the coach because that was a big one. That was on the right shoulder there. In fact, that's 61, I should say. Got the wrong sort of run sheet. Haraki Yamamoto playing for the Willetton side in the state competition. Sam Crutchett is next as a result of Yamamoto walking to first. That is a ball. Nelson, deadly left arm. He's been pitching well in this competition and almost just losing his footing on the mount there, but he's able to get back up. Hard hit from Crutchett. He's going to hold out to the player at second base, and that's a strong catch. And that's the first out for Carine. Massimo Bruzzese. It's a known climber from his young age before playing Little League, and making a solid contribution to start things off with a good catch.
All right, Georgie, hosting if it goes, eh?
And now next up, Reece Cahill. Swan Hills, big Angels fan in the MLB. And strike one. A very good pitch from Flynn Nelson. Not afraid to bust a move too. Flynn Nelson, good left arm, good fastball as well that he's got. 1-1 now.
Really good spot. All right, Oscar, get that glove down. You're in the spot.
1-1.
Hey, Judy, Massimo. Baby. Hey, Trevi. Hey, left.
1-1 for Cahill. Make that 2-1. Flynn's got a couple wide.
This is main diamond though, isn't it? What happened to all that there?
And Cahill hits well, and almost a collision. And a fumble. Fumble from Fricker. Missing first base. And that was an out on first. Cahill's gone. But Yamamoto, a good run. Well done by Cahill, sacrificing himself first, allowing Yamamoto an opportunity to run to second off the 2-1. And that is the first out for the Central Firebirds. On top of the first. First pitch strike for Flynn Nelson in the previous attempt. That is strike one for Alexander Steinman, who's next. His third season of Little League competition and his second attempt at winning the state championship for his team. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 0-2. 2 outs. Flynn Nelson's got a couple of first pitch strikes to his name early on. Good hit by Steinman. On to first and gone. 3 outs. The Cats start well. And they'll go out to bat at the bottom of the first inning, 0-0 after 1. In this Division 2 Grand Final Little League State Championship, the Firebirds and the Cats here at Maddleton Park. The Cats out to bat right after the break.
Great catch, Marcy.
Great job, boys.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
Bottom of the first here at Maddleton Park. Flynn Nelson firing off a couple of good fastballs with that deadly left arm. as the Carine Cats get things going. Massimo Bruzzese, or Massey as he's known, will get things going for the Carine Cats at the bottom of the first here at Madelton Park in the Division 2 Little League Grand Final. Number 88, Alex Steinman, pitching for the Cats. Bruzzese with 1-0, now a 2-0. Both sides in the top 2 after the preliminary rounds. Firebirds 5-0, Cats 4-1. Good hit from Massey. Down the third baseline and a misfield. That's going to give Massimo a chance to go for a triple. He's going towards third. Makes it count. He's taking the risk, going to home run. He's going to go for it. Oh, he fumbles, and Massimo's home. Massimo is home, and a good start for the Cats. Well, a couple of fumbles in the field for the Firebirds is not the start they were after. Massimo Bruzzese with a strong first up run for the Cats. And they have an early lead at the bottom of the first. They are pumped up, and rightfully so. Plenty of applause for Massimo, and a good start for Carine at the bottom of the first, 1-0. I have to say, he got a little bit lucky. He was playing the game, he was flirting with danger, almost got tagged on the run from third, but that was a solid bit of running. Henry Wilkinson's next, and that is a foul ball. A lot of chatter going on at the Carine Cats bench. But no doubt they are very pumped over the fact that Massimo has opened the scoring. Henry Wilkinson, good hit. Long centre field, that's safe. And it is fielded there by Archie Moffat. And that is a base hit. First hit for the Cats. They've got a player on first. And now Carter Donaldson is up next. George Nelson facing Steinman. Steinman goes low. And that'll be 1-0. Central Firebirds very keen to get one back when they take to the plate again. 1-0, first ball. And again going wide, so that'll be 2-0. And stealing second is Henry Wilkinson, and he's gone. Oh, that pick off for second base paid off for the Firebirds. A good throw onto second, and that's where Drew was able to make the catch. And Henry Wilkinson was caught out at second, and that is the first out for Carine. Out there, George Nelson, still there. Aiming to hit one out of the park. He's got focus, he's got determination. Up against Steinman, and that one again low and wide. 3-1. And we've got someone joining us in just a moment. We'll wait for our next pitch. And that's a strike. Nelson, he strike two. Joining us now, he was originally meant to be here today, but sadly he is in isolation. But the good thing is he's here live via audio call. Guy Belair. Guy, welcome to our broadcast. How are you, mate?
Not bad, Paul.
That's good to hear, good to hear. How are you finding being in ISO? Is it a bit bizarre?
Oh, it's an incredible amount of fun. I kid you not. No, I'm very bored with it on day 5 already, so hopefully only a few more days to go. So,
How are you finding the game so far, Carine? And the Firebirds going along quite nicely. Cats have got a lead, but the Firebirds, they've got themselves a good side.
yeah, it's not a bad. I think the Firebirds just need to kind of settle themselves into the game a little bit. Obviously, when you're playing in a grand final, a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, and some guys think it's a little bit bigger of a moment than it is, and some excel well. I mean, we've seen Carine able to jump out to that early lead on the big hit and a couple of misfielding mistakes, and that's what you have to do is take advantage of those mistakes. But I think the Firebirds have settled in.
Well, that was another mistake. That you've just seen there. Yamamoto and Moffat there just thinking about who wants it. And it turns out neither of them did. But good thing too, they have got another one out there at bat. But yeah, like you said, a grand final, plenty of stakes in this one. We've seen 2 finals today, Wanneroo and Carine winning the trophy so far. As we get into the upper divisions, there's going to be a lot of pressure on both the teams that are participating. This one in particular, because the Firebirds and the Cats, they've been scoring a lot of runs in their last couple of games.
Yeah, absolutely. The 2 high-scoring teams, and so that's what makes it interesting. Great throw there by the catcher to get the base runner stealing. And, that's a little bit of the things that we talk about, taking advantage of those mistakes, but then turning around and being able to compose yourself and get out of the inning. So only giving up the 1 run, able to keep themselves in this ball game, and now I'll turn around and see if they can get the sticks working in their favor.
Megorian out, and that's 3 outs for the Cats, and that'll be the end of the first. The Firebirds trailing 1-0 in this Division 2 Little League final, thanks to Alcohol Think Again. We'll be back right after this with the Firebirds back out on the plate.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
Welcome back to Mandelton Park, top of the 2nd innings. The Cats and the Firebirds in this Division 2 grand final, with the Cats leading 1-0. Paul Persick and Guy Belair with you. Next up, Lucas Werder, number 13. Shortstop and left field. And right-handed. Guy, good start for the Cats. The Firebirds, they had those mistakes on the field, but they've got some very powerful hitters.
Yeah, I mean, the Central Firebirds are made up of predominantly 2 clubs, Wilton and South Perth. Familiar with both of them. They've been, 2 of the premier kind of junior programs all along with Northern Metros, which was Wanneroo, and a mixture of Wanneroo and Carine. So no surprise to see Wanneroo and Carine having split, but having success on their own, as both, kind of all 4 of these clubs have really developed their junior programs.
2 balls there from Flynn Nelson. They also got Whitehead on centre field, and also Wilkinson on left field. They're pushing a little bit further, hoping for a miss hit. To centre field, Nelson. Oh, that one a little bit low, almost hitting Werder on the leg. And that'll be 3 balls. 1 more, and Werder will be walking. They got George Nelson catching position for the Cats. Nelson, a couple of first pitch strikes as well during the first inning. And that one's wide, and he's walking. Werner is walking, and that'll give the Firebirds a chance to have a couple of big hits and a couple of important runs too, and a couple of field changes in between the innings as well. I'm noticing here, Guy, the Cats and their outfielders, they're pushing a little more inward as well. They've got some catches there that are really looking to capitalise on the mishits made by some of the batters out there, like Werder, and of course the next one who was taken to the plate in Cody Drew. Such a powerful hitter. They mistime it. They're right there for the pickings to make those catches.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a, you know, the devil you know on one hand is better than the devil you know on the other. But the big thing will be, is the pitcher able to get on top of things? Is he able to throw the strikes? He's able to start off 0-1 right there. And that's one of those short hits, shallow hits that you were talking about. Obviously, one of the miss hits, and you know, if you don't square it up nicely, it is going to be a bloop. It is going to be those things. So if you are sneaking your outfielders in, the danger is if he does barrel it, he's going for a ways out at this ballpark.
How about that catch from George Nelson down in catching position? He had to make an effort. A really good effort it was indeed to throw the helmet away and get that catch to enforce the first out. They're looking the goods at the moment. The Carine Cats. They've got a 1-0 lead. They've got Nelson firing from left, right and centre. However, sneaking into second is Werder. And Werder will sneak into second base. We noticed in the first innings as well, Guy, one of the Carine batters, Massimo, he flirted with a little bit of danger. He was stuck on third, was in 2 minds, had some space between himself and third base. Did he want to go to home or go back to third to avoid getting tagged out? Yeah, you can't be doing that against this Firebirds side because they have got some very good fielders who can get you out at a moment's notice. They're difficult to stop.
Yeah, and that comes back to the age group here. You're able to see that one fouled off, and another great catch there to get the second out of the inning. It's of 2 minds. Sometimes you like to put pressure on teams and make them make plays, and other times, you know, if you've had an opportunity to see what they're capable of, do those kinds of things, you know they're able to. You try to make them make the throws and then have to make those plays. So a little bit of a tricky situation, and like I say, it's early in the ball game, so you're feeling everybody out. You still have, you know, 5 innings of baseball left, and the opportunities. And the real point here is, you know, if I was coaching, 2 out hits win ball games. So if you're able to string a couple things together, base hit here is going to score this run, anything to the outfield. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're seeing him wanting to do. He's looking for something ideally to hit to that right-hand side, be able to get that runner all the way around.
Guy Belair with special comments with Paul Persick in the commentary box on this Easter Monday. Jamie Vlasic on the plate. Strike 1. 2 outs. We want to go 3 and out here. The Firebirds, especially for the second innings in a row, especially since they've played so well and have scored a lot of runs in the last couple of games, including that last game that they had against Carine where they scored 10 and didn't need to bat out the 6th because they had such a strong advantage over their opposition. Vlasic facing Nelson. Good hit down the center of the field. And, oh, a fumble. That's going to allow Vlasic to go towards home. In fact, it is home. Lucas Werder running for home and leveling the scores. It's like what the Firebirds experienced in the first innings, Guy. Those fumbles at first base and at third, allowing the Firebirds, allowing the Cats in to score, and the same thing happening with the Cats fielders to allow the Firebirds to score.
Yeah, and that's a great bit of base running there. I mean, the one thing is the ball put in play. He was taken off. Obviously, if they made the play, innings over, no issues. But the moment you bobble it, he was rounding and running home. And while the ball didn't get that far away, again, another ball off a glove. See, that's the difference there. The ball gets away. We should have seen the runner take off. And so they were able to take advantage of it to even the score, but that might be something that bites them here in a second by not having gotten to second base.
And it raises the pressure even more, especially since it's a grand final and there is a lot of high stakes on the line, especially when you're, playing against a strong opposition with a pennant at stake.
Yeah, and that's one of those big things that we talk about, pressure situations, and some kids have had the opportunity to do so, and some haven't. And this is the great learning experiences here. And this is one of the great things that's been a part of this tournament for the last couple of years. And what I was going to say before is the Carine pitcher. When we talk about it being a high-stakes opportunity, we saw the Firebirds swinging at some pitches outside the zone. When you start off 0-1, 0-2, and you're able to get ahead of that count, then batters all of a sudden think they have to swing at pitches they might not normally, and it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game back there. Again, he's back to a 2-strike count here, and can he throw effective pitches that don't get hit hard, and really work the zone in a different way? Because the ability here is, the key is to throw strikes early so you don't have to throw strikes late.
A couple of foul balls as well, raises a bit of the pressure on Charlie Moffat, another Willetton player. As he touched upon, the guy, these Firebirds side, largely made up of Willetton and South Perth plays, with the exception of Reece Cahill playing for Swan Hills, who got himself amongst the base hitters early on in this game as Nelson fires off another one. Strike 3, he's gone. And so Carine, to their relief, will get that third out. But the Central Firebirds run, levelling the scores through Lucas Werder. Couple of fumbles for both sides. They'll look to get their fielding in check as the Firebirds will take to the field for the bottom of the second. It is 1-1 here in this grand final. It'll be a crucial patch for the Carine Cats when they have their turn to bat right after this break. Manelton Park is the place. Carine Cats and Central Firebirds locked at 1 apiece.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Bottom of the second in this Little League Division 2 grand final. It's locked at 1 apiece between the Firebirds and the Cats. Paul Persick and Guy Belly are with you live from Manelton Park. As next to take the plate, Oscar Fricker. Strike 1 for Oscar Fricker. Steinman once again. Just focusing on the pitches here, Guy, for a moment. Steinman and Nelson. Nelson has fired a few more strikes than Steinman, but Steinman looks a little bit quicker as far as his pitching is concerned. He's got a deadly right arm. And in the first innings or two, he's pitched a little bit more straighter than Nelson. There were a few wide ones from Nelson, but Steinman, he's got the steely concentration on him at the moment.
Yeah, Steinman looks really good. He's doing a good mixture of fastballs, curveballs, and looks to be a little bit more settled in. And sometimes having that bad inning, you get it out of your way, get it out of your system. Also kind of helps to settle the nerves and settle those things down. Nelson, I noticed in the first half, that's what I was talking about. He got some early strikes, and and then was getting batters to chase pitches outside of the zone. Obviously, when we talk about, you go back to that last half inning, you got the Firebirds batter to chase 2-3 pitches outside the zone, and then snapped a curveball off in the zone that sat him down looking. Steinman here has started off here with 3 consecutive curveballs, and you know, obviously at this level they might not actually be curveballs, but they got a good little gravity 12-6 braking effect going on.
Tobias Waddle facing Steinman. 2 strikes for Steinman. And it goes to your point guy a lot straighter. That Steinman is pitching, getting those strikes early. And you pointed it out very well. It's crucial to get these strikes early, putting the pressure on the opposition rather than getting those strikes late when the pressure's really on. But that one was a bit wide, 2-1.
You know, one of the key things that you want to keep in mind as a young pitcher, you want to look at trying to average a 15-pitch inning. 15-pitch inning means you get to go deep into a ball game. With tournament baseball, it's a little bit different because you know, guys are on pitch restrictions in terms of if you throw 35 or more, they can't throw the next day. But obviously in a grand final, it's a little bit all hands loose. So you'll see these guys up to around 60. But you know, in order to throw 60 pitches, and we still talk about 15-pitch inning, it takes you to 4 to 5 innings. So if they want to go the length of the ball game, they really have to be efficient with what they're throwing.
Tobias Waddle with a full count in front of him, 3-2. Steinman goes straight on, strike 3, he's out. Waddle's gone, and Steinman has another strike to his name. In fact, it's Alexander, I should say. And the sunlight just getting in the way there. So Alexander has some strikes to his name. In fact, that is Steinman. Let's see Alexander on my fact sheet here. Maybe I've got the wrong information. But anyway, those early strikes, very crucial indeed. In fact, it is Steinman. The sunlight just getting in the way here. And that's another one for the Firebirds. 2 hits for the Cats, only in base hits. The Firebirds haven't got any, but they do have 1 home run, and so do the Cats. Nearly 2 innings completed, and we know there's still 4 or 5 still left in this game. In the first 2, even though the score's locked at 1 apiece, I sort of see the Firebirds are looking a little bit more settled. But then again, the Cats, they can go on a burst of a couple of runs here, but also their fumbling in the field has sort of set them back a little bit, but it's still early days.
It's still too early in the ball game to know what's going to happen one way or the other. From those standpoints, and like I said, some of that is early jitters. You see, you know, looking at the scoreboard, they both have the 2 errors. The Cats have done a good job at holding the Firebirds at bay without any hits at this point, and the Cats necessarily haven't made the most of those opportunities with the 2 hits. They did get the 1 run, but you know, they could have had a couple more with some of the different runners they've had on base, and some of their running mistakes, you know, cost them by getting caught stealing at second. So it's still early, a lot of baseball left, but and that's the big part of it. And we see another big strikeout there from Steinman.
5 of them for Steinman. 5 of them for Steinman, in fact, and he is looking the goods out there on the mount early on in this game. That's the end of the second here at Maddelton Park. It is still 1-1 between the Firebirds and the Cats. The Firebirds will come out to bat for the start of the third. Can they add to the scoreboard after this? Well, we'll find out.
That batting innings is gone. Let's keep turning the strokes on defense because we're looking good out there.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Highlights of the first 2 innings of the game so far. Division 2 in the Little League Alcohol Think Again State Championship. The Cats and the Firebirds locked at 1 apiece. Make no mistake about it, it has been tight goings early on. Paul Bursick and Guy Belair in the commentary box. Guy Belair, albeit remotely this time, as he is in isolation, but good thing he is safe and well, and offering his insights into the game today. First 2 innings, Guy, we're into the third, well into the third in this game as the Firebirds are back out to bat. The Firebirds, you know, on paper, they've got a strong batting depth, but the Cats can't be counted out either. But if you're looking at batting depth on paper in this competition, the Firebirds just have it a little bit, especially since they've got some strong depth down the order, especially here, Julian Watt-Pringle being next up.
But you also got the gap between you and Carine.
Yeah, that's always an interesting thing. When you talk about tournament baseball, a lot of times when you're playing club ball, you might only have 3 really good players. The thing is, when you go to tournament baseball, you're generally comprised of each one of those teams 3 really good players. So all of a sudden you have 12 really good players. But it's a mixture of how can you evolve those 12 to play together, to work together, and take on the roles, because again, 12 players cannot play the game all at the same time. You only have the 9 at the point. So ball put in play, and nice catch there by the shortstop for the first out.
Megorian making a good catch. It was a very good catch indeed. Megorian, I'll tell you a little bit about him. State T-ball championship. And a big Dodgers fan as well. So, you know, he's got championship experience. He's keen to add another to the cabinet this season.
I think that's one of the important parts. T-ball is a good starting point for all of these guys, and has been a wonderful situation. I think they just had their T-ball state championships a couple of weeks back down in the CBD as usual. But it's a big difference stepping up from hitting the ball off the tee to then having to hit one of one of the moving pitches. And you see these guys, you know, all of a sudden it's in and out, it's up and down, it's fastballs, changeups, curveballs, and so those that are able to adapt to those differences and make those changes see that continued success in pairings as we move through the different stages of their careers.
Must be a lot, you know, for these youngins to you know, practice from hitting off the tee to these moving pitches. There must be a lot of training involved, not just in being able to picture the pitch, whether it be a fastball or a curveball, but also timing is also a big key for these young players that are, you know, looking to make that next step from T-ball to baseball.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and so there's a lot of different things. Nice piece of contact, but I think that one drops just foul. You know, there's a lot of time, effort put into working the cages. I mean, the one kind of thing is even you'll see the Perth Heat guys, you'll see the Major League guys, when they want to work on something, they still go back to hitting off of the tee. Swing and a miss, but the ball gets away.
Safe.
And I think he's going to be safe.
Yep, it is safe. Alex Vlasic safe there, the South Perth player. And that's a good start for the Firebirds. And it touches back to your point earlier. The fumbles, not just from the catcher, but also on the outfield as well. It's hurting a little bit for the Cats. And that's their first real fumble of the third inning.
Yeah, it's you know, obviously what we've seen is you know, sometimes in games like these, it's who makes the least amount of errors. I mean, we look at the scoreboard and we've got 2 errors apiece. So it comes down to teams able to execute the fundamentals. And that's going to be one of the bigger things, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, it still comes back to field the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball. You know, you're able to do those things effectively and the best, you should be the one that gets out on top.
Vlasic almost sneakily stealing second base, and that's another strike, 1-1 for Flynn Nelson. Very solid left-arm pitcher, good fastball, and has got some variation as well. He ain't lacking in that. Just a couple of wide ones there, 2-1 at the top of the third. Firebirds and the Cats still locked away at 1 run apiece. No doubt plenty of those Cats very eager to have a hit again to take back the lead. And for Weston Gonzalez, who is at the moment at the plate, it is 2-2. Nearly at a full count. Weston Gonzalez. Strike 3 and he's gone. That's another strikeout for Flynn Nelson. I have to say, Alexander and Nelson been the stars of the game so far, guys. 7 strikeouts between them.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things is, you know, we go back to another game, and you said the Firebirds won by 10, but, you know, in pool play, you may not always be facing the best pitcher because you're trying to get through zones. You're holding guys back for semifinals or finals. So, and sometimes you have to throw your best guy in the semifinal to make sure you get to the grand final. So, we're seeing a little bit of a pitcher's duel here, and like I said, both of them are hitting the zone. Nelson, whether by design or not, he's done a good job of in and out and up and down and moving the ball to different locations. And one of the big things there is the Firebirds hitter was looking in left field instead of keeping his eye all the way on the ball to make contact.
If you're not keeping your eye on the ball, then you could be in a lot of trouble, especially against a fast pitcher like Flynn Nelson. In the meantime, Haraki Yamamoto is back on the plate. He got a hit to the left shoulder, but he's getting on with it. And he's going to have another go at it to try and get some contact with it, but another strike. So that is 0-2. No, 1-2 rather. Nelson and Yamamoto. Yamamoto doesn't want to be looking at left field. There's a couple there that are keen to pull down a catch. Strike 3. Or was it? No, it wasn't.
Fouled away. Foul tip right there. You got a little bit of a piece of that one. But again, with the 2 outs, this is the important part of being able to catch that ball here, because with 2 outs, he can be running if that ball gets away.
And that shows the pressure that's really on. You know, if Yamamoto got a nice clean hit as well, he want to be going right away. But that one, unfortunately, off the top edge. And that is another foul.
You know, this is one of the other things that we talk about, having good plate discipline, because the big part of this one, we've seen him, you know, kind of swing at some pitches, not necessarily in the zone. You know, everybody wants that ball gets over the head, the runner should advance to second. Everybody kind of wants to be the hero or be that guy, and don't be bigger than the moment, and you know, don't give your opponent the free pitches, the free strikes.
We've got a replay here, Guy, of course, of Vlasic going on to second base. It was quite easy indeed, but Yamamoto struck out. And Nelson has his 4th strikeout of the game. He is looking really good behind the mound. Great left arm and plenty of pace behind those fast balls. Top of the 3rd, it is still 1 run apiece between the Firebirds and the Cats. The Firebirds will take to the field next. Can the Cats snatch back the lead? Well, we'll find out right after the break.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Bottom of the third here at Maddleton Park. Paul Persick and Guy Bellier with you for the Little League Division 2 State Championship. Thanks to Alcohol Think Again. And on the plate, Toby Vincent at the bottom of the third, looking to put the Cats back in front. There's been 1-1 since the top of the second. Very tight game, Guy, but it's offered a lot. You know, a lot of pressure, a lot of stakes, a lot of intensity, but there has been a lot of fumbles as well. But drawing back to your point, the pressure in a grand final is always expected, and the point out of that is who's going to emerge from that pressure and play that good disciplined baseball, the quickest, would make a difference here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's again, as we talked about, whoever's able to fundamentally be more sound. Like I said, the Firebirds had a couple of those fumbles early. It allowed Carine to score a run. We've seen Carine start to have a few more of their fumbles the last 2 innings, but the Firebirds haven't been able to take advantage of that one. So, again, it's we're able to see a good catch.
Just let that one slip, did Vlasic on centre field, unfortunately. So that's allowed Toby Vincent a good hit too. Nice clean hit to centre field. Go on to first base, but it's that fumble again that's hurting both teams in key moments. But nonetheless, for the Cats, they've got first base occupied. And now it's Lachlan Whitehead next up, number 75. That will be keen to get things going again. It's 1-1, 1 out. No outs, rather. And at 1-0. What is an all-important game for both sides. Finished in the top 2. 5-0 for the Cats, Firebirds rather, and 4-1 for the Cats in second place on the ladder. Of course, in their last meeting, as you mentioned, the Firebirds scoring 10. They didn't really need the 6th inning because it was a game that was in control by the Firebirds right from the get-go. They had Steinman and also a couple of their others, including Yamamoto, get a couple of good hits as well. But it was a game dominated by walk-ons, because there were not a lot of big swings, but we're seeing a lot more today. Both teams' batters are really giving it a red-hot go. They're eager to get on the board. And another base hit for the Cats. Leonard rather. Vincent it is, yes, on second base. Whitehead on first. It's now players loading 1 and 2. Second base, first and second bases respectively. And now we have got left-handed batter. Who's a left-handed pitcher, Flynn Nelson. With players occupying first and second. Steinman taking on his fellow pitcher. A little bit wide there. 4 strikeouts between.
Interesting to see how far off the plate Nelson stands.
Well, nice stance, a little bit open on the left-handed batter's box. And lets that one go. That's strike 1. Steinman's done well in the mound, I must say. He's had a good one so far, 4 strikeouts, and has made a nice early statement here, including 4 first pitch strikes. Steinman at it again, a little bit lower, but nice little split one there. Strike 2. Still on 0 outs. 1 and 2 for Steinman and the Firebirds. Nice fast ball and a little bit wide there. 2-2. Runs at a premium at the moment for these teams, locked at 1 apiece. At the bottom of the third, Madeljan Park is the place. Nelson gets him bat onto that one, splitting the centre, fumble from Yamamoto, and going for it is Vincent, taking the risk. Nope, in 2 minds, goes to third, now he can go. Another fumble, Vincent runs to home, and the Cats score. The Cats take back the lead at the bottom of the third, 2-1. And well, we summed it up earlier, and it's been proven again, Guy. Fumbles in the field have hurt the Firebirds again.
Yeah, I mean, that one's a hard. The one kind of thing I always said as a coach, if you make a mistake, don't let it snowball, and don't let that go downhill for another and another and another. And you know, when you made the mistake, you didn't field the ball, you didn't get it out. He fired home quickly to prevent the runner from rounding. He took a wide turn. I think because he took such a wide turn, the catcher tried to rush a throw, thinking he could get an out of it. And it was probably a play worth making, but because he was trying to rush it, he didn't make the best of throws. And that's the thing is you kind of don't rush those situations. Live in that moment, and you just see how when you're hurried or you're frenzied, all of a sudden the things that might be routine don't necessarily happen the way they always do.
And another one coming up for Whitehead, and there he goes. Lachlan Whitehead now onto home plate and scores. This is a nice little run for the Cats. They now lead at 3-1, 2 in a row for Carine. As we see on the replay, Whitehead just got there in time before Steinman was able to tag him on home plate. Lachlan Whitehead now amongst the scorers for Carine. And now Carine capitalising on those mistakes and getting those runs. Strike, swing and a miss for Carter Donaldson, and he's out. And coming on now, Noah Groves, number 21. Baseball, not his only sport. Good all-round sportsman as well. Bit of cricket, bit of AFL. And he's a big fan of Hawthorn, who unfortunately aren't doing too well in their clash at the G against Geelong. They led at one stage too, so good thing he's out here on the field. Steinman, 4 strikeouts to his name, and also 5 first pitch strikes in 3 innings rather. This is his 3rd on the mound. Just on pitch rotation, the guy in the earlier game that I was commentating today, one of the teams rotated with 3 pitches because they were getting so many wide balls away from the plate. Nelson and Steinman have been pitching well. I don't think you should see them rotating until very late in the game when they're getting tired and, you know, they're just running out of power. Or I reckon you'd love to see them pitch out the whole game.
I think based on pitch numbers, I don't know if they'll get to pitch out. We've seen some, you know, if you're keeping it, as I said, to the 12 or 15 pitch innings, I think both of these guys have had at least a 20 pitch inning at one point in time. So I don't think they'll be able to go the distance, but I think if these guys are the 2 number 1s, you'll probably see coaches try to stick with them as long as they can. And for Steinman, for as well the game as he's played, it's his infield that's kind of let him down, which is a little bit of a shame. But again, 3-1 ball game, you're not out of it by any means. So if you're able to control the damage, get out of this inning right here where it's at. Bit of a time called right there. So
yeah, there was a second ball on the field. There could have been a game of multi-ball, but good thing they've sorted it out very quickly. But no, you're right. Steinman has pitched very, very well, but those infield fumbles have not supported his efforts at the moment. So they'll be looking for a much better effort in the infield in the next half of the game. We are halfway through this game, and Carine in control as we see Steinman going a bit low to Noah Groves, and that is going to result in a full count, 3-2.
I think the big thing too is to look at you know, from the Firebirds coach's perspective, start looking at players and hanging heads or those kinds of things, because the one kind of thing too is it's a 2-run ball game. You're still in it. If you're able to execute, turn things around, and like I said, you've made the errors, you've given the Cats those chances. In this inning, they finally made the most of them in terms of plating some of those runs across, but you're not out of the game. You need to put everything behind you, put everything that's happened behind you, and and then realize that, you know, you can't make any more from this point on.
Great job.
And that is a 4th ball for Groves, and he'll take a walk to first. So that means players are occupying first and third. Coming back on, Massimo Bruzzese, who in his first at-bats was able to go to home and score for the Cats. In fact, it was the first home run of the day in this game. Little League Division 2 Grand Final of the Alcohol Think Again State Championships. And he gets another powerful hit down to left field. And scoring once again for the Cats, Flynn Nelson runs to home and adds a 3rd run to the Cats innings to make it 4-1. Gotta say, Massimo Bruzzese guy is quite a decent hitter. He's fired off a couple in his 2 at-bats so far in this game. One through centre field and then towards left field. All with good timing and precision as well, making sure that it wasn't a miss hit and holding out on that fly ball to either centre field or left field.
Yeah, and the one kind of thing is you talk about big players step up in big games, and right now he's proven to be that one with 2 big hits here and his 2 opportunities. So right now, looking to be the player of the game at this point in time.
He's looking the goods at the moment. That's a body blow, and he's going to walk it. And that very sporting indeed. Giving Steinman a bit of a high five. No intention by Steinman to hurt him. It was just a pitch that inadvertently hit Wilkinson on the body. Very sporting indeed. And now, first time in the game, bases loaded. And onto the plate comes George Nelson. Looking to add some more runs on the board for the Cats. Nelson leaves that one. That one's a little bit low. That is 1-0 count.
You know, if I was the Firebirds coach, I would go out and talk to my pitcher. We haven't seen him come out and utilize that one. And I know, like, some people look at it as a way of slowing down the game, but Simon's lost a little bit of his control this half inning and giving up some hits, the walk, the hit batter. And you know, the balls aren't being caught by the catcher here. I would take that opportunity just to go talk to guys, settle the team down, and get them refocused.
And Groves, while you were mentioning that, scores himself another run for the Cats. And you're absolutely right. I reckon the coach should be, you know, going out onto the field and going onto the mound to talk to Steinman, because there have been plenty of wide pitches at the moment, and plenty of those have just lost their speed a little bit, and that's been giving the players some easy hits. 4 runs now in this inning for Carine as Nelson stays on the plate. 3 balls.
You know, it's a pivotal moment of the ball game that can either be broken open or it can stay a close ball game. So how they respond, and I think taking that opportunity just to go talk to all the kids, get them refocused, and get their chins up, and let them know this is what you're doing, this is what we're having to do. Slow grounder, you might want to fire it home to prevent the runner from scoring, but looks like we got the strikeout to get to the 2-out mark. Oh, I was off by 1 on my count.
Yes, it was off Nelson, but it might have just got a little hit to that one. It might have been down low as well, so that's a ball. And that's a strike, and he's gone. Nelson not too impressed with that one. Who can blame him? Because there are a couple of big opportunities there, but he'll settle himself down, have a chat with the coach, and get himself back on the field for the next inning. But he gave himself a great effort there, did Nelson, on the field, but getting some applause there from his teammates. Now back on is number 9, Kynan Magorian. And he's just having a word with his fellow assistant. Now the coach, as you talked about, Guy, throughout the inning, he's just having a chat with the catcher and the pitcher as well, just gathering them and getting them refocused, because the pressure is well and truly on them at the moment. Steinman has lost a little bit of that speed and precision control on those pitches. So, and he's fired off plenty of balls as well and a couple of walkouts as well. And this is a very perfect time for the Firebirds just to refocus and take back control of the game that they had a little early on.
Yeah, I think it's a couple batters too late. I mean, obviously, the one kind of thing is I would have done it while he'd lost some of that control and prior to, you know, those 2 additional runs scoring from the pass balls, wild pitches. But it ultimately does come out. They are going to make that pitching change. But it probably happens at a little bit of a good time there because I'm not sure. Are they making a pitching change there or not? I think they are.
By the looks of things, yes, they are. So we will have a new pitcher. So Steinman is going to have a spell. And coming on is number 13. And that is Lucas Werder, I believe, who is going to be their new pitcher. I may have to double check that. Yes, it is. Number 13, Lucas Werder. Second choice pitcher for this game. And as you noticed off screen as well, Magorian, who's having a couple of practice swings as well, just getting himself acquainted to the pace and the speed of Lucas Werder on the mount. And he'll come back on in just a moment to resume proceedings in this game. The Cats having a big innings.
Werder looks to be a 3/4 right-hander, a little bit of pace to him. Looks to effectively, you know, be able to hit the inside and outside. One of the big things that I think is crucial for these guys, and we saw Simeon try to work inside but manage to peg a guy. But you have to learn how to throw into batters. I think a lot of times, especially this age, it's so easy to stay away from them, but you have to have the ability to work both sides of the plate, both inside and out. You know, sometimes you're going to make mistakes and hit guys, and like you said, at that point in time, I don't think there was any intent on it, but I think that's kind of one of the big things is that for young pitchers to develop command, to have pitches be able to be thrown to both sides of the plate, and be able to handle both left-handed and right-handed batters.
Now Magorian is taking to the plate. Werder, the new pitcher. And Magorian gets a top edge on that one. And a foul ball. One there for the Cats. Cats have got the lead going their way right now. 4 runs in the 3rd inning. And it's been a big run of scoring for Carine. The second place side, they finished the preliminary rounds 4-1. Magorian slices the field with a strong hit. And they'll look to score 2 out of this. And they get them. And that's Massimo and Wilkinson. That further increases the advantage for the Cats. 2 runs at it. And it is now 7-1. A devastating innings for Carine.
You know, and 2 mistakes there. Great piece of work by the Carine hitter. When we talk about being able to square up a ball, if you're hitting the ball back up the middle of the field, you're doing a great job because you're finding that barrel of the bat. But the Firebirds outfielder, 2 things. He held onto the ball for too long, which didn't give himself an opportunity to get the second runner. And then when he did, he'd overthrown a cutoff and the plate, which allowed those additional runs to score and runners to move over.
Last out as well, and that'll be the end of the 3rd inning. We'll continue live from Madelton Park as the teams refocus themselves. And the Central Firebirds will be aiming to get things back their way. They have a 6-run deficit to make up. And they've got a bit of time to refocus after what was a long spell by the Cats. And a very good spell, very productive it was, as we see some of the highlights here on Front Row Screen Sport. We're viewing 2022. And there, that was one of the fumbles that the Firebirds had. Who wanted it? Well, no one got it. The Firebirds looking to gain back control with some key hitters. Paul Persick and Guy Belair with you in the commentary box. Easter Monday, a big weekend of sport here in WA. Not just with the netball, the Fever having a big win, Waffle returning, Waffle W as well, and of course State League Championship Baseball over the last couple of weeks in particular, which has been fantastic here in this state. It's all thanks to Alcohol Think Again. They've been great supporters of not just WA baseball, but WA sport in particular as well. So we thank them for their support. And of course, today and this weekend, this state championship that has gone on since Thursday here at Maddleton Park. The Little Leaguers really enjoying themselves over the last 4 days. No doubt for the winners, plenty of celebrations. Well, plenty of celebrations for all the sides, because they have really had an absolute blast over the 4 days. And given that it is school holidays, why not make the most of it? It's good to see the families out here as well, providing a really good atmosphere. It's a carnival atmosphere here at Maddleton Park. If you're just joining us for the first time, it is a 7-1 advantage at the top of the 4th. A very good performance by Carine. 6 runs at the bottom of the 3rd. Plenty of runs being scored by both the sides, but by Carine in that second half of the 3rd innings. Getting amongst those was Brzezy, who scored 2 of them, including the first one of the day. And they just kept on scoring and scoring and scoring. The Firebirds, they're now back under pressure. They'll now have their players at bat. And will be interesting to see how the Firebirds respond. Guy Belair writing special comments alongside yours truly, Paul Persick, in the commentary box. And a very important innings coming up for the Firebirds. I reckon the next 2, Guy, are going to be important for the Firebirds, especially when they're at bat, because they've got some powerful hitters, but they've just been mistiming their hits, especially towards the infield.
Yeah, and that's always one of those things that happens. Like I said, I mean, the one thing is if you're putting the ball in play, it ultimately puts the onus on the other team to make plays. And right now, Carine has fielded the ball, haven't always thrown it the best in terms of they've had a few fumbles over at the first base. But the big kind of thing here is you're not going to get it all back in one swing or one hit or anything like that one. So you just kind of have to chip away at it. You're not out of the game. I mean, 6 runs is a little bit daunting, but if you're able to get 2 or 3 here, 2 or 3 the next inning, you still have 3 innings to work with in order to chase it down. So it's not completely out of the realm to overcome it, but you just kind of got to focus in now. And this is those opportunities where you see when your back's against the wall, can you go down fighting?
Sam Crutchett is next up on the plate for the Firebirds. 7-1 at the top of the 4th. Good hit along the line, but that is a foul.
That's a good start to it. I mean, he came out, he's wanting to be a hitter right away, and you're able to see him take advantage, and unfortunately just had that one go down that left field line foul. But I think that's a great hit, because if that one is fair, you're thinking 2 bases right away.
Yeah, instant double base hit if that didn't go past the line, and just gets out of the way there, almost hit him on the foot. And that is now 1-1. They've got Flynn Nelson there again. He's pitched very well today. Dare I say it, I reckon if he keeps up this accuracy, I reckon he'll pitch out the whole game, I reckon. Ambitious call, but you know, Nelson has been very accurate. And that is strike 2. As is evidence, of course, with Flynn Nelson having 4 strikeouts in the game, and his counterpart Steinman for the Firebirds with 6. It's going to be interesting to see how Nelson can keep up his consistency. And that's a fly ball towards third base. Oh, just falling short there. But he gave it a really good effort. And that'll be a foul ball anyway. That's Nelson in the number 1 jumper. Very close indeed. He gave it a really good effort, Guy.
Yeah, I mean, good effort from all parties there. That one's one that it's probably the toughest play to make for the third baseman, the over the shoulder. The shortstop has a better angle, and you'd like to see your left fielder crash in a little bit more, because it's easier for him to follow that one away. That's a great hit right there, and that's going to get down that left field line.
Double bases in an instant, as you said, for Sam Crutchett. In fact, no, he's going to play it safe. I thought that would have been a double base hit in an instant, but he's going to play it safe. And a single base hit Now they bring back another.
The left fielder did a great job to get over, cut that ball off, and even though he misfielded it, because he was able to get to it so quickly, sometimes those ones, when they are hit that hard, do a little bit of disadvantage because you're not able to get all the way around. Because certainly had that got past him, that would have been the double.
Reese Cahill now on the plate. And Crutchett's able to sneak into second base this time. A good steal from the number 9.
When your bottom of the lineup guys are turn around and get on base, I mean that's one of the big important things in terms of wanting to get back into ball games and have a big inning. So if the Firebirds are able to string some hits together, that'll be an important thing to see.
Reese Cahill there, almost getting hit on the foot again, but able to escape from that one. 1-1 is the count. No outs. Ooh, almost got that one off the edge, but foul ball. So it'll be 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. If you're just joining us for the first time, you're live from Maddleton Park at the Kingsway Sporting Complex north of Perth. Little League State Championship final day, thanks to Alcohol Think Again. This is the 3rd of the 4 games that we're bringing you today. Nelson just getting that one a little bit high. That is 2-2. Nelson with 4 strikeouts next to his name, and also 6 first pitch strikes as well in 4 innings so far. Very accurate, very consistent. One strikeout at least per inning on average in this game. And if he keeps that rate up, he could go the distance and pitch out all innings in this game. Has shut out a couple of batsmen as well in this competition. See if he can keep up that consistency as Nelson fires one out again. Cahill again edging one out, and a foul ball as well. And we've now got a full count, 3-2. Full count for Nelson. These full count situations here, Guy, would the pressure be more on the pitcher or on the batter? Because there's 3 balls and 2 strikes. You wouldn't want to walk it if you're a pitcher. But as a batter, you wouldn't want to strike out.
I think the onus still falls on the pitcher to make a pitch, especially at this level. I mean, you talk about wanting to throw your best pitch. I mean, the one kind of thing there is you saw that one be, 2 pitches at the 3-2 count from that one, and this is where I say we probably aren't going to see Nelson go the distance, because a couple times he's had to do that one, and like I said, I think he's hit his pitch limit now, pretty close to it.
Well, he's just having a chat there with his coach. And a couple of the others having a chat with their players.
I think this one's actually effective. This is what I wish the Firebirds coach would have done back in the bottom of that 3rd inning. I think the Carine coach is done what I want, because the moment they've kind of gotten into that little bit of trouble, he's come out. Let's pause it. Let's refocus. You're coming into the heart of their lineup where we don't want to make mistakes. And this is what I think the Firebirds coach should have done, and we didn't see happen. So we'll see how that's able to play out. As I said, I think Nelson's creeping up there in his pitch zone, and sometimes that's all it takes, is being able to see a different guy. I mean, the Firebirds hitters may be used to seeing right-handers more on the season, and they may be stymied a little bit by Nelson being a left-hander, because they may not have seen a whole lot of left-handers this season. So there's always small factors that go into games, but we'll see how this transpires. But I think that was a good move by the Cats coach.
Well, he's actually giving Nelson a chance to stay there, so no change, but a good call though, on the basis that the coach is getting Nelson just to refocus a little bit and get a couple of good strikes in there as well. Steinman's facing him, Nelson's counterpart, and that one nice and straight but a little high. That is 1-0. 0 outs at the top of the 4th here for the Firebirds. Nelson staying on the mound. And again a high one. He's got some speed on those first 2. It's just the height and a little bit to the left hand of the plate. So been the only issue for Nelson as of late. But he's not letting his pace neglect him. And another high one. So that's 3 in a row. 3-0.
Yeah, and this may be that point in the ball game where he's getting tired, because as you see, I mean, that is what happens with these young guys. A lot of them maybe aren't used to having to throw a lot of pitches, aren't used to having to do some different things, and he may be hitting that point of his tiredness, and we see a 4-pitch walk.
Yep, that's Steinman. He's walking to first, and now we've got bases loaded as well. As a result, I would not be surprised, to go along with your point here, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a pitch rotation at the end of this innings.
No. Stay back.
I think it'll be the big question here is if you want to keep them out of that big inning, I might go to it sooner than later. You know, I mean, he might want to back Nelson, but this is one of those things that, again, bases loaded with nobody out. This is a big opportunity that if you don't get a hold of it quickly, I mean, they can quickly do some damage and get back in this game.
It's another missed pitch and a ball. This time Lucas Werder, who's on the plate.
I think going back to it, that's 6 straight balls now that we've seen thrown.
Yes, that is correct. 6 straight that we've seen. The team just helping Nelson to refocus. It looks as though we may have a change. I'm seeing some movement on the Cats bench, but not to what extent. As Nelson is set to fire one off. Now he gets a strike, breaks the run of balls. Maybe that little chat seems to have paid off to a degree, but only time will tell to a greater extent. Nelson looking to remain as focused as possible. He may be looking tired, but he is determined. You've got to give him some credit. That's a good hit from Werner, and they're going to make the play. That's the first. And they've only got 1 out, and ooh, Cahill flirting with a little bit of danger there. And that is a run scored for number 9, Sam Chazell. And the Firebirds get a vital run back, so they've got the run that they've wanted. And the coach just having a bit of a chat here. This looks interesting.
Well, he's going to be asking for interference, and I don't think he's going to get the call, because the big thing is the shortstop didn't make the throw to first. In order to have that be called a double play, he's got to make the throw. Because he didn't make the throw, you can't have that additional out. I think the coach is looking for that. He never got out of the way. He didn't do those things, and it might be different had he made the throw. But by not making the throw, you can't question it because it's a what-if possibility.
Well, it looks as though that only be 1 out. It won't be a double play, so the play will stand, but it'll only be 1 out from my understanding, or is it going to remain 0? That's what are the possible outcomes. By the looks of things, it remains as 0, I think, just looking at the electronic scoreboard and the one on my screen. So it's remained as 0 outs.
There should be 1 out because there's not a runner on second.
Yes, you are right. There was no runner on second, as mentioned on that last play, so there's always confusion on those interference calls, so it is 1 out. Moffat now facing Nelson. They're going to look for a steal on second. Oh, it's another fumble. And second is there for Werner, and another run. Cahill scores for the Firebirds, and it's now 7-3. They're slowly creeping back, the Firebirds, in this top of the 4th inning, 3-7. First run they've scored since the 2nd inning, as we see here. Taking the risk. Ooh, and a bit of a collision there for Werner, but he's okay.
Smart play by getting his foot onto the bag, because he technically never touched the bag. But able to get his foot onto the bag before calling for time and everything. And that one's always a risky one to throw down to get that runner. I mean, sometimes I like that play with 2 outs because you're trying to get that 3rd out, but with less than 2 outs, if you don't make it, you're allowing that runner on 3rd to score. So that one's always kind of a tricky play, and being that you have as big of a lead, you know, I'd almost look at it and you either take the outs that are given or don't take the chances to allow them to get back into the game.
Cody Drew now back on the plate, facing Nelson. That one taking some pace off that one, and that's another ball, so that's 3-0. And either Nelson would have to rotate at the end of this inning, given that there's still 2 outs to go, or make a change immediately if there's another walk. as Nelson fires to Drew, but that's a strike. Solid.
And that's an interesting thing. Nelson, as you talked about, Steinman looked very fluid in his motion. Nelson looks very unsettled in his motion, and this is something he'll have to work on as he progresses the next couple of years. Those additional leg kicks, technically, once he gets into that ILJL league, that's a balk. You don't have those ones at Little League, but he's going through those motions of this is what I'm trying to do, and I think he's trying to work with it, but I think it's also a little bit unsettling.
And he conceded another walk with that as well. And so it'll be players on first and second bases. So it looks like we may have a change. Coach having a chat. Yep, there is a change. So Nelson is off. And number 1, George Nelson. So from Nelson to Nelson, George Nelson will now have a go. Yeah. And Flynn will have a spell. Yeah, and I think this is to be expected, and I don't think it's a bad position to do it in because, as I said, for the Firebirds, you're not going to get it all back in one swing. Yes, they loaded the bases, but then they've managed to get the 2 to 3 runs in an inning, like I said. So they've kind of ticked that box off. They still have an opportunity to get a few more if they're able to take advantage of some things. Now looking at Nelson right now, he's a hard-throwing right-hander. So sometimes just that little change is enough to believe, and I think it's a good move by the Cats coach to do it before the Firebirds fully kind of get back into the game. Flynn Nelson, if you're just joining us, has now gone to first base by the looks of things. He's either going to be at first base or shortstop, I believe, as we have this timeout.
Looks like he's going to be at first base because I think the first baseman was number 99. I see him over on the shortstop third base side, which does make sense to have your lefty go to first.
Plays in the outfield too, talking tactics as well. One of them is Toby Vincent, and he's going to go to right field for this one. So George Nelson, our new pitcher for the Cats. And as you said, hard-throwing right-hander. And I reckon he's got the same thing, but he's in terms of motion. But in those practice pitches, he did throw a couple wide, but he threw a couple of nice fastballs in there. So he's just starting to settle in and can get some height on it as well and really tempt the batter to go for a swing.
Yeah, and that's where it comes back to play discipline from the hitters, and it's a hard thing to ask for young guys because they are just learning, and the thing that I like most is seeing them have a go at it. I mean, I think it was Takamoto swung at almost everything, which I hate to see that one, but versus the Cats guy that didn't swing on those couple and pounded the bat back and forth.
Moffat got some bat on that one and goes on the first base. And once again, we've got bases loaded. This is a perfect situation for the Firebirds. I think it was going to be foul. Oh, no, it is a foul. You are right. From where I was in the commentary box, it looked as though it would have been inside the line, but as it turns out, nope. Umpire's in a much better position than I am on the opposite side of the field. But nonetheless, another ball, 1-1.
Yeah, that one had that just the right amount of English to allow everybody to be safe, but I think just creeped foul right at the end.
2-1. Now the count for George Nelson. Hard throwing right-hander. Nice fluent motion and a good fastball there. And that is strike 2. Nelson very calculated. Oh, got a bit of height on that one. Right down the middle, but just a bit too high for Archie Moffat.
Seriously, I thought he was very fluid in his warm-up, and then now he seems to be adding in a delayed. I actually thought there was a lag on the video, but he actually is doing a leg kick that slow.
Nice hit from Moffat straight down the field. Stopped at center. And here comes Werner at number 13. He scores and adds another run to the Firebirds. 4-7. They've scored 3 in the innings. They're slowly coming back.
Slowly piecing it together. Now they've got that first hit. I think that was the first clean hit of the game. The one kind of thing that we saw there is while the Firebirds took advantage of sending that runner, Carine did not make the overthrow, so they didn't let one mistake go into another, which is what we have seen the Firebirds do.
Nelson getting that one just a little low. 1-0. Still one out. They've still got 2 outs under their sleeve, have the Firebirds. And that's a very good hit too towards left field. They'll look for another score. Drew from third all the way to home plate, and he scores. And sliding into third base is Moffat. And the Firebirds add another one. This is an incredible
comeback. That was a great piece of hitting down that right field line, and again, knowing that because it went to the backside, the runner on second was able to round and take his chances going all the way to the plate. So we've seen the Firebirds be able to get 4 runs back. They've got runners first and third, and now they've got a little bit of mojo cooking. 2 hits in a row, and you know, one thing we say is hits are contagious. So we'll see if it's able to continue on to the guys and move on through the lineup.
Now we've got Charlie Moffat, the other half of the Moffat duo. That's a strike. And here comes Archie Moffat, and he's safe. He's got it. That's another one. Another one for the Firebirds. Now they are within just 1 run. They've added 5 runs alone in the top of the 4th inning, and they are coming back very strongly indeed.
And that's a design double steal, and I think Carine executed it well. It just you know, it wasn't executed to perfection. The throw was cut off by the shortstop in order to entice that runner to go home, and then the throw home was a little bit high. Another hit.
And it looks like he caught that one.
Nope,
No, he didn't.
That one bounced foul, so he's got new life.
Moffat having another chance on the plate. Getting that one high again, so that's 1 and 2. They've still got 1 out, and that's the key for the Firebirds at the moment. They've still got those 2 outs, and they've been on a run fest at the top of the 4th. That's been the real key for them this 4th inning. Nelson fumbles. Moffat goes to first, now sneaking into third, and has got it. Is Vlasic going to take the risk? No, just playing it safe. Players now occupying first and third. And Nelson got a bit of a hit on the leg there, and he's in a bit of discomfort. His teammates just checking on him, and so is the coach, so we'll have a bit of a delay as we saw on the replay. Right there, square on the foot by the looks of it. This is a blow for the Cats. They've had to change their pitcher. He was starting to lose a bit of that focus, and then all of a sudden, George Nelson got a bit of a hit on the foot. But he's going to shake that one off. And that is great to see. Getting some encouragement from his teammates. Shaking off the hit and getting on with the game. Good on you, George.
One thing that I like from both these guys, you're seeing both teams take advantage, take chances. With the Firebirds this inning, and this is one of those things that I say, sometimes they have that mindset. They may not have seen a whole lot of left-handers this season. And so that may have been why they were struggling early. Sometimes when you're able to get to that next guy, to get to that bullpen, you're able to take advantage. I think you're seeing that opportunity come from the Firebirds right now.
Nelson now back up on his feet.
They look like a different team. They look like they've got some belief behind them and some know-how, and see if they're fully able to take advantage of things.
Well, they're now within 1 run. They've scored 5 alone at the top of the 4th. Very high one indeed from Nelson. Bit of a breeze blowing too from the western end of the ground. That's what it's been all day. It's still nice and cool out here. So the players not struggling in any sort of oppressive heat. They're coping very well with the conditions here. That's a good hit towards left field, and Vlasic will go home and add another run on the board for the Firebirds, and more importantly, ties it up. It's all square at 7 apiece.
All squared at 7 apiece, and one of the big things I said is you weren't going to get it all in one bat. We've been able to see them string 3 or 4 hits together, and I think based on rules, I don't remember if it's 6 runs and you change over, if it's all the way
that is correct.
Lineup and you change over.
X number of runs. If you score more than 5 in an innings, 5 or more, then you've got to change over. So a crucial time in this game. The Firebirds have squared it up at 7 runs apiece at the top of the 4th. Back with more after this.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
We've got a really good game on our hands here at Maddleton Park. Central Firebirds have come from 1-7 down to tie things up at the bottom of the 4th, 7 runs apiece. Paul Persick and Guy Belair with you in the commentary position on FRS Sport, where for you in 2022. The final day of what's been a great championship weekend throughout the Easter long weekend. Plenty of runs being scored from both teams. But the Firebirds have done most of the scoring, especially in the 4th inning. 6 runs in that innings. And the Carine Cats,
yeah, I think if we go back to the rule change, I think it's going to go back to 5 though, because as you said before, at the end of the inning, 5 or more rotates it through. So I think it still remains. Does it remain a 1-run ball game, or is it tied?
It's tied, 7 runs apiece.
All right.
And now back on the plate, Oscar Fricker to start the bottom of the 4th. Crucial one for the Cats. They had this big spell of runs against them. They had 6 scored against them, but now they would love to score some back. They scored 6 at the bottom of the 3rd in their last at-bat, and they would need to score some here. Like out from the home plate, Frisk is out.
And that is a big play by the Firebirds, because the big kind of thing is if they want to win this ball game, you've just gone out and scored a ton of runs. Come out, get that first out, have a quick inning, and get back to the bats. Vice versa, if you're Carine, don't overdo the moment. You got to have a base runner. You have to do some things. So, big play there for the Firebirds to get that first out of the inning.
Can Tobias Waddle get the Cats back on the scoreboard? He too is a good hitter. We've got a team full of good hitters, but they just miss timing those as well, and that raises the pressure. 1-0 at the bottom of the 4th here at Maddleton Park. And putting some height into that one is Wedner. Of course, the second choice pitcher for the Firebirds. Steinman having a spell. And that is a strike. 2-1 at the bottom of the 4th. Still a couple of innings to go after this. This one's going down to the wire. You can bet your bottom dollar as Wedner is doing all he can to keep his focus. Also Tobias Waddle just having a chat with the coach, getting him refocused. Wedner, he's ready. He's got the steely eyes, aiming the pitch. Bit wide there, and that'll be 3-1. Wouldn't want to concede a walk at this stage in the game when the pressure is on, everything's on the line. Got a championship to play for. Wedner got an extra delay in his motion when pitching, but it's nice and quick. And that is 4. And Tobias is walking. And so that is going to be walk-on base hit for the Cats. And coming back on now, Noah Groves. Just collecting the bat there, and Jackson Leonard will have a hit. So that's a nice start there, Guy, for the Cats. They've got an early base hit, albeit a walk-on. But any base hit for them in the context of this game, given they had 6 runs scored against them, valuable for them to get back the lead.
Yeah, not necessarily the base hit, but a base runner. And again, if you know you're going to do those things, you need to have runners on base. That's the opportunity that gives you to score those runs. So again, if you're Carine, ball in the dirt, you want to be looking to advance the runner. You want to be looking to take advantage of any mistakes. If you're the Firebirds, you want to be able to limit those damages. So you're looking to get a ground ball, get it out where you can.
Coach just having a chat with his players for the Firebirds, and also the Cats just having a chat with the man on second base. He's just running a second as well. Bias walking. Plays on first and second now. Leonard. And 1 out as well on first.
Well, one thing that I'm interested in keeping an eye on here, the last 2 Carine hitters are both backing out of the box as the pitch is being thrown. I don't know if that's afraid of inside pitches or by design.
Well, who knows? The pitches from Wedner are getting a little bit quicker, starting to add some pace into it. But the benefit for them is that they've got a couple of balls that could, really prove to their advantage. See, he's stepping out again, but luckily that is a ball and has not inflicted a strike against clean hitter.
Yeah, and that might also be due to a green shirt umpiring. Normally, if you step out like that one, you don't always get the calls. Also interesting to be seeing him square around. I don't think he ever had any intention of bunting, but he might also have a little bit of speed, so if he was able to get it down, he could have taken advantage of that.
Strikeout as well. That's 1 out.
With that 1 out, this is where I'd like to see the Firebirds coach just come again, resettle your pitcher, resettle your infield, and make sure they know what has to be done. Now you can the out can be made at any base depending on if it's hit on the infield, and possibly 2 to get you out of the inning.
And stepping out again is the new man on the plate, Toby Vincent. And that is 1 and 0. More importantly for the Cats, similar to the Firebirds in the last inning, they've got 2 outs up their sleeve.
Yeah, you have 2 outs to work with. So, in this instance, the hitter should be looking to drive anything to the right field side. And that would have been a perfect pitch to do it.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
and we've got ourselves a steal and a double steal. Whoa. Oh, Wedner not paying attention there. That's allowed Nelson and co. to net a couple of base steals. And they've picked up second and third. That's what you want to do.
That takes the double play. That takes the force play out.
Now Vincent's still there. And that is strike 2. They'd love to get a strike here for Wedner. He's got 2 first pitch strikes to his name, but has not struck out anyone at the moment, compared to Steinman, who struck out 6 times. now he's got it. Strike three.
There's that first strikeout, and that one was kind of to be expected. He hadn't swung the bat. I think he had to attack the zone right there, and that's a big strikeout for the Firebirds because now all of a sudden it gives you the 2 outs, allows any ball to be put in play that you get that out at first. It was a great job of base running it, and by the Cats 2 pitches ago, I was a little bit surprised to see it attempted on the throwback, but they'd been a little bit lazy on the throwback and not paying attention, so that's a great job of identifying something.
And now we've got Lachlan Whitehead, number 75, out on the plate. Bases second and third occupied. The Cats on the verge, potentially, of taking back the lead. Oh, and that's a high one. Allows Nelson to fly in towards home plate. Does he get it? Yes! Nelson's safe, and it could be a double, and it is! Oh my goodness gracious me! That's a double run. Nelson and Leonard scoring for the Cats. Those fumbles we talked about earlier in the game for the Firebirds are hurting them again.
Yeah, that one's a little bit unfortunate because I think the throw from the catcher was right there with an opportunity to get the runner. And the tag allowed the ball to squeeze out of the glove, it looked like, and get away. So he still thought he had the ball, and he didn't. And great job by the Carine Cats coach to identify that the ball had rolled away and send the additional runner.
That match awareness, not only from the coach, but the players as well. Very, very good indeed. A job well done. Whitehead just ducks under that one. It was a very high pitch. So the 6 runs... The 6 runs that were inflicted against the Cats at the top of the 4th, they've now counted with 2 of their own to take back the lead. A big change in fortunes for both teams as Wedner fires off a strike. Only 1 strikeout to his name in this game. And he's looking to add a second, 3-1, but 3 balls. Whitehead with a fine hit towards centre field. There he goes, he's on the charge. Towards second, but Whitehead slides in and makes it a double.
And that's a great job of base running. I like that. The minute you hit the ball, he was thinking double out the box. He had no intentions of slowing down after rounding first. And I think that's a great job. I'd like to see players take advantage of that a little bit more, and thinking double out the box.
Now we've got a left-hander, right-left combination in this instance. He was aiming for the bunt there. That's Flynn Nelson, first string pitcher for the Cats. Did a great job for the first 4 innings. Did lose a little bit of that focus, but now hopefully he's had a good spell and he's able to put that focus back in this time to having a good hit. Oh, it looked like he was in motion for a bunt there, but just backed out of it at the last moment. So 2-0, 2 outs. And the Carine Cats lead at 9-7. They've got back the lead after a run of 6 runs against them. We're hitting to the top of the 4th. And leans forward. Ball 3. He's watching it very well. He's
not unfortunate to not have any of these pitches called strikes. I thought those last 2 easily could have been strikes, but apparently just missing the zone according to the umpire.
Small margin it was indeed. That time it's a strike. Nelson just nodding his head here, thinking, okay, fair call. Flynn Nelson, known as Flinny by his teammates. Nelson, swing and a miss. Full count, in effect.
You know, and that would have been an interesting one, because that pitch placement was, you know, previously called 2 balls, and yet when he swings there, that's why I say I was kind of iffy to let some of those be, but 3-2 pitch.
And he's walking.
Up and out.
Nelson now walking, and it looks like it's going to be Carter Donaldson. That'll have a hit. Players on first and second. Bottom of the 4th, still 2 outs. They're down to their last out of the 4th inning. And they've got a lead of 2, countering the 6 that the Firebirds scored at the top of the 4th. A very tense game we have here at Madelgin Park. And you can bet it ain't over till it's over. High pitch there for Donaldson, but that is ruled a ball, 1-0. Donaldson now keeping his focus, so is Wedner. Strike one. That's a much better pitch for Lucas Wedner. Got plenty of pace on that one.
You're able to see him come back. I'm a little bit surprised that with allowing some of the runs, we haven't seen the Firebirds coach come out just to settle him down, settle down those nerves. That's one of those big things here, especially as you get late into ball games. Using those pitcher meetings is crucial, but that's one of those things that's why tournament baseball is so fun, and one of the big reasons that we need to see a little bit more of it, because as much experience as you gain as a player, you gain that experience as coaches too, and you start to learn situations.
And strike three. Donaldson is gone. That's the third out. They needed that one, the Firebirds. And at the end of the fourth inning, it is the Carine Cats leading 9-7. The fifth inning to come after the break. This game well on its way to becoming an absolute classic here in the Little League Alcohol Think Again Championships, State Championships. Madelgem Park is bursting with excitement. Back after this.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
Top of the fifth here at Madelgem Park. This one is not over yet. The Carine Cats, who are now back on the field, they have a 9-7 lead over the Central Firebirds. They countered the 6-run half that the Firebirds had with 2 of their own to take back the lead. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you in commentary for this game. It's been a great game, Guy. Plenty of twists and turns. There have been some mistakes, but there have been some great moments. Some good fielding, some good hitting as well. It's had everything.
Yeah, it certainly has had a little bit of everything. I think we saw a good pitcher's duel in the beginning. Obviously, Nelson had 4 strikeouts. Diamond had 6 for the Firebirds. We've seen the bullpens come on, and I think bats have kind of awakened for both teams here the last inning or two, and now all of a sudden, as you get into the crunch time, like I said, it was always going to be a 6-inning ball game. The Firebirds have been able to reel it back in when it got out of control and keep it a ball game. And as we move into these last 2 innings, it'll be a difference of, I think, who can execute the fundamentals the best.
Nelson back on the mound and fires off immediately with a strike. And that is on number 11 for the Firebirds side. And second pitch there, a little bit wide and low for Nelson. That, of course, being George Nelson. Alex Vlasic facing Nelson. 1-1 at the top of the 5th. 2-1 now for Nelson. Nelson Taking a few deep breaths, retaining his focus. Very good pitch from Nelson, tempting Vlasic to swing. Strike 2. Nelson would love a strikeout here. This could be his first of the game if he can net this one and put the Firebirds again on the back foot. It looks like that's a strike 3. The umpire called it. Vlasic wasn't aware of it, I don't think. Or they may have disallowed it there. Looks as though that's a strike 3.
It is going to be a strike 3, but again, that's the importance of having to catch strike 3. If it gets away from the catcher, base runner can go down and advance to the back. So in the books, it still goes down as a strikeout, but he does reach base on essentially the pass ball by the catcher.
Now number 10, Gonzalez is next up. And that'll be ball for Nelson, 1-0. At the top of the 5th, important innings. This one could determine the fortune of the final inning for both teams. And again, Nelson goes wide. That is 2-0 now. That one, plenty of height on that one for Nelson. And he's 3 in the meantime. Vlasic stealing second and stealing third. Great base running there from Vlasic, taking it on. And automatically has herself a double hit. And third base she now occupies.
Yeah, good job of base running, able to steal second and then advances to third on the error.
And that's a 4th ball. Gonzalez walks. And now bases 1st and 3rd are now occupied. The Cats have a 2-run lead, but I don't think the Cats are settled with this one yet. The Firebirds are coming back again and are in a position to possibly tie it up or even take back the lead at the top of the 5th. Nelson just having a chat with his coach there. Just getting himself refocused.
I think this is a good move by the Cats coach. Again, this is what I was saying. I thought the Firebirds coach should have done when they started to give up those runs. He's coming out in order to try to anticipate not giving up those runs and making sure defense knows what to do, where to go, and maybe even strategize what they're going to do with runners 1st and 3rd. You know, if the Firebirds, I'm looking at trying to advance that runner to second to get out of a double play. And if I do so, then I'm potentially looking at trying to get that runner home. Now, we saw that situation play out with that double steal earlier, and the speed of the Firebirds runner was such that they couldn't execute that short throw to shortstop. But I don't think Relentless is as fast as the previous runner, so we might see if we see the double steal again. We might see if we're just trying to get that runner to second. And then we might even see Tomomoto hit put down a bunt to advance all the runners.
Oh, he opted for it. They're going to go for another steal here. Gonzalez is gone. And a home and a run for Vlasic. Vlasic scores. And it's now 8-9. Let's have a look. Slide from Gonzalez. Just falling short. A good effort to get into the slide. But just got tagged as soon as he reached the bag at second base. But Vlasic took it right on and scored for the Firebirds. Yamamoto now facing Nelson. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
And I think that was a good play all the way around. I think from a Cats perspective, if you're going to run into an out, take the out. Yes, you sacrifice the run, but you still have a 1-run lead.
Strike 2.
Oh, a little bit of a rough call there. We've seen a few of those not called, and then to have that one called, I think, is a little bit tough.
Oh, taking some pace off that one, Nelson. A slower ball there. Got good variation as George Nelson. Can fire off the fast ones. But when some batters least expect it, there's a nice little slower one there, and that's a ball.
And I think sometimes, and this gets into pitchers' heads, all of a sudden, most of the Firebirds hitters have been pretty larger hitters. You get to one that is a smaller one, and that strike zone obviously decreases. And sometimes they go into trying to aim it more than just throw it.
And out! That's 2 outs. 2 outs, a great throw at first base. And Yamamoto is gone.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, this slow motion replay will give us an idea. Whoa!
That's safe by a lot.
Yes, Yamamoto, he is going to be not impressed by that one. He was safe on that slow-mo replay. Ooh, very tough one indeed. And I think,
and that's an unfortunate part. I saw that one live, and it didn't look to be out. That definitely looked to be a base runner beat that one by 1.5 feet.
And yeah,
And slow-mo kind of confirmed that one, but you know, that is the human part of the game. And sometimes you have to can you put that behind you and move on?
that's the question, especially since we've only got a couple of innings left by the looks of it. Yes, but I'd say Yamamoto, without any fear of a contradiction, was far from impressed by that one. And I don't really blame him whatsoever. Nelson goes high, and ducking that one there was Sam Chustard. Sam Crutchett there, ducking that one. Nelson got a bit of height on that one. 2-0 with 2 outs. In the air, towards left field. Oh, just short.
That ball's going to get down. He should be thinking double out the box.
And he did, and he got it. Double right out of the gates. Groves, a good effort there to get to where it was. Just falling short on a half volley. But Sam Crutchett, he's going to steal third. Out of the blue, he steals third. Nelson's wanting out and doesn't get it. Well, and the coach,
he's not going to get that one.
No, it looks safe from where I was. I'm directly behind the number 9. And
we turned that one back to that smart base running, because he took notice of no one on third base. So he went out there, and if they overturn this, I would be surprised, because while they may not have been looking at anything, he was still trailing the base runner. Base runner was able to reach the bag first.
Yeah, he did.
In my opinion, looking at it.
He did reach it first.
The only question might be is whether they had called time.
And by the looks of things, that call may stand. And Crutchlet may be allowed to stay on third, possibly, but we can only speculate. And there is time. Cats players just regathering and looking to refocus. The umpires are deliberating with the officials. Will that be allowed for Crutchlet to go onto third base and stay there? And he's safe.
Yeah, and should be. I mean, he took notice of nobody standing on third and took advantage and made a smart base running play. And you know, this is what we say: you're able to take that moment of Yamamoto being called out. Can you put it behind you quickly, refocus? We've seen the double on the throw-in. Nobody was covering third, able to advance. And the thing on that one is yes, the ball did go back to the pitcher, but he wasn't on the mound. So you can't really have time called in those instances.
Yeah, you're right about that. And the umpire making the right decision at the end. That was safe. And players now on third. The Firebirds look to tie it up, and that's a ball there from Nelson. Bit of chatter on the Carine bench there on that last call, but they got to put it behind them. There is still a game to be won. Towards third base, bit of a fumble, and a score! That's a score! The Firebirds tie it up. Sam Chusler with the run, and it is all square at 9 apiece.
Yeah, and that ball had to be fielded cleanly from the get-go. Obviously, the Firebirds have a little bit of speed in order to get down that line. So the moment that ball's not fielded, probably not getting that runner out at first, especially with the shorter base paths in Little League.
Now
so,
Steinman.
All of a sudden,
Steinman onto the plate now. This is a big chance. Steinman. And that's a good pitch by Nelson. Strike one. 9 runs apiece. Simply thrilling contest.
I think the key for the Firebirds here will be they really need to take the lead in the top half of this inning.
In the air. Gone. Great catch by Fricker. And now the Cats have a chance to take back the lead. It is 9 runs apiece. At the bottom of the 5th now, Carine 9, Firebirds 9, back with the bottom of the 5th right after this at Madison Park, where the Division 2 Little League Championship, thanks to Alcohol Think Again, is on a knife's edge.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
The championship on a knife's edge here at Madison Park. And the first out in an instant. Out is Noah Groves. That's the first out immediately. That's what they wanted, the Firebirds. 9 runs apiece.
Interesting, that's just about the same play as we saw how last inning started. So hopefully it's a, if you're a Firebirds fan, it's a little bit of a different trend that they don't give up the additional runs, but good start to get that first out of the inning.
Next up now, Massimo Bruzese, who's scored 2. He's going to look for a third today, 2 runs next to his name. Score 9 apiece. Wedner on the mound. This is a crucial time for him. Massimo gets one onto it, but that will be foul. And he knew it right away. Got another contingent of the Carine Cats club. They've got the Division 1 grand final coming up, and that is right here on this field. We're bringing that to you live. They'll be taking on the Coastal Bay Sharks for the Division 1 championship, and that promises to be a ripper of a game, and this one has been as well. Strike 2 for Wedner. Wedner up against Massey. And that one just a little low. 2-2. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you in the commentary box. A fascinating contest it has been all day. Plenty of twists and turns. It went the Firebirds' way. The Cats' way, rather, early on. Then it went back the Firebirds' way. A little bit of a fumble. But Chancellor just gets that second out. 2 outs. 1 more out, and we go to a 6th. The pressure is on.
The important part here, too, the hardest out of any inning is to get, that first out. When you get that one, the hardest out then is that third out. I mean, the big thing here is the Firebirds need to focus. They need to make sure that the score remains 9 apiece going into that last inning. If you're Carine, just get a base runner on.
Wedner has pitched very, very well in the last innings here. Plenty of energy from both teams. And that's a ball. Strike 1. A lot of noise being made on the Carine bench next to the commentary box, and I can imagine a lot of noise being made by the Central Firebirds bench. It is still on, this game. And that one above the head there of Wilkinson. 2-1. Very tense stuff going on here at Madelton Park. Easter Monday. Very high one indeed, but that is strike 2. This could be a very crucial pitch. We'll send it into a 6th. For Wedner. Folk flexing himself, getting ready. Strike 3.
Pitch.
It's all square. We're going into a 6th. All square at 9 apiece. It is on for young and old. The pressure on both sides now. And we'll be back after this for the 6th inning. It is 9 apiece. The Central Firebirds and the Carine Cats gunning for the Alcohol Think Again Little League Division 2 Championship at Madelton Park.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
We're down to the wire in the Division 2 Little League Championship thanks to Alcohol Think Again. The Cats and the Firebirds locked at 9 apiece. A big spell of runs by both teams in the 4th and the 5th. With the Firebirds getting one back. Getting a couple runs back, in fact. The top of the 5th. And I must say, this game is going right down to that last pitch of the last inning. As we see some highlights of Vlasic there in that double steal as well. Gonzalez, big slide, just falling short. And also a couple of this was the controversial out, I believe. This is it. And this was Yamamoto-gi. Oh, that will still be a talking point in the hours ahead.
All right, boys, let's go get him, eh? All right, just like last time, Noah. Here we go, pal.
Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you.
And that's a tough call, as we said, but that's the human element. And, you know, we've seen it go into the professional sports where that would have been reviewed and overturned. Obviously, we don't have that technology. We do, but technology isn't available for the umpires in these games. But they were able to still put that one behind them and go on to score a run to tie the ball game. So, you know, now all of a sudden it's lay everything out on the table and let all the chips fall where they fall.
Strike 2 for Nelson. And that is on Werder. But the two pitchers having a nice face-off. They've had themselves a good duel along with the first string pitchers, Nelson and Steinman. Nelson, ooh, gets that one a bit high. That is first ball. So 1 and 2 at the top of the 6th. It's all or nothing for both teams. And wide this time. 2 and 2.
I thought that was a great pitch selection right there by Nelson. Looking at how far is off of the plate, thought that was a great opportunity to attack that outside part because I'm just not sure he'd reach it.
It's in the air. Nelson's underneath it. Easy catch. And is he pumped? Werner not getting all of that one. That one leapt high in the air. And Nelson calling for it immediately. And a nice catch to boot. As we see on the replay, keeping his eye on the ball. Great concentration. And into the gloves it goes. And the fist pump, the pumped adulation for George Nelson.
Oh, there we go, guys. Here we go. George.
One out. Still 2 to go. There's still time for the Firebirds to net a score. But anything can still happen. Moffat with a good hit to centre field. And a single hit. Play it cautiously. That's what you want to do. And Moffat does just that. And that's Drew, I should say.
Little station-to-station baseball. It's his second hit. And again, the nice thing that I like to see is that he's taking it right back up the middle. So that means your timing is pretty much spot on. And the fact that we saw that as a line drive, great piece of hitting there by Moffat.
Now Archie Moffat is going to be taking the plate. That was Drew, I should say, that last hitter, number 25. And now it's Archie Moffat. Good hit towards shortstop. Diving stop there from Whitehead. And Moffat, another single base hit. He's on first. But even if the Firebirds score, carry on.
Drew able to advance to second, and that ball hit towards second base there. Great piece of running by Moffat to hustle down the line and beat out a throw.
Now, even if the Firebirds score and take back the lead, they're still going to have to strike out the Carine side in order to win the championship. So even if they score, they'll still have a lot of work to do. It's not over yet as Vlasic, number 42, is back on the plate. Nelson, sharp focus. Oh, that one a bit low, and a double steal. A double steal is in place. Drew and Moffat now advance to second and third, respectively. Let's have a look here.
Good piece of base running, and this is why your base runners have to keep that eye on it. The minute you see it in the dirt, they should be off to the races. There was no hesitation. So great job there. You know, a tough spot on the Carine catcher because he did do his best to block it up. That ball hit strongly. Should score a run for the Firebirds.
It is a score. Drew scores for the Firebirds. They take back the lead, 10-9.
And that's exactly what you want. While that ball didn't get through the infield, it was to the right-hand side, allowed the runner to break on contact to take the lead. They still have an out to work with.
But remember, even if they do lead, they've got to strike out the Cats. If they don't, and the Cats hit 2, and the Cats win the championship. Nelson. Oh, nice straight pitch there for Charlie Moffat. Tempted to have a swing, but elected to back out and take the strike.
You know, and that's the important things. The Firebirds, are the away team, so they get the opportunity to score first. Unfortunately, they didn't score first on the day, but they've taken the lead in the last inning. That puts the pressure fully on the Cats now, because they have to score runs in order to tie the game.
Nelson. Moffat now. Good hit by Moffat. They're going to throw towards first, and that is a 3 and out. The run won't count. So for the Cats, it's all or nothing. 10-9 for the Firebirds. They must defend the lead. The Cats must score 2 to win the championship. At the bottom of the 6th, it is going to be all or nothing after the break here at Middleton Park. The championship on the line.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
Say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
All or nothing for the Cats at the bottom of the 6th. They trail 10-9. The Firebirds could be completing a perfect season, but anything can happen at the bottom of the 6th here at Madelgin Park. Number 13, he is in sharp focus. Lucas Werder could be pitching to win the game. And now George Nelson. He is under a lot of pressure now. He has pitched very well since the 4th inning. Got good variation. But now what can he do with the bat? They must get 2 runs to win the championship, 1 to tie it up. The equation is simple on paper, but it's anything but. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you for the culmination of what's been an exciting game. Nelson just leaves that one out wide. 1-0. And swerving out of the way there, Nelson, very smart on the box. 2-0. Don't forget, coming up a little later, Carine at it again, this time against the Coastal Bay Sharks for the Division 1 championship. And that one should be a ripper, just like this one for the Division 2 title. 3-0 on the count. Nelson swerved out of those rogue pitches very well indeed. And he's walking. Nelson with the 4th ball, he's walking. Might be a walk on base. But I tell you what, Guy, that's a nice little start for Cairns, for the Carine Cats.
Yeah, I mean, for Carine, that's the, you know, other than a base hit with a double, that's probably the best outcome you can have to start the inning. You have to have that base runner on, and that's your opportunity. So you have the tying run on base, and you now have the winning run at the plate. So that's the combination that you're looking for. From a Firebirds perspective, you just have to get an out.
So now, on the plate is McGorry, and Nelson aiming for the steal towards second, and he's safe. Just what the Cats needed. Nelson taking the game on, taking the risk, and risk equals reward, and the reward is that he's got second base. Jorian now on the plate.
That was a great job. I'm not sure that if he got an early jump there or not. You're supposed to technically wait for that ball to cross the plate. But that was, you know, whether he did or not, it was a great job by the Firebirds catcher to fire it down there and have an opportunity at trying to get the guy.
Well, no matter how early or late the jump was, he got things going, and Nelson's going to have another opportunity to steal a base. Now he's on 3rd. Now Wender, number 13, Werder, the pitcher. Got some extra pressure on him now. Looking to pick off 3rd. He elects not to. That's a good hit towards centre field. Nelson scores. How does Megorian go? He gets a double. No, he's going to sneak up to 3rd. No. Changing his mind, Nelson scores, and he is elated. And that's feeding off on his teammates. It's all square, a 10 apiece. Nelson getting great encouragement from his teammates. You could see it in his face. The passion, the excitement crossing the home plate. And it's feeding off well on his teammates. Great job, Nelson. And now the Firebirds under pressure again. They've got a player on 2nd. And on the plate is Oscar Fricker. And leaving that one high for the first ball, 1-0, 10 all.
You know, it's just kind of interesting. Every time it's been a pressure situation, we haven't seen the Central Firebirds coach come out to calm things down, but you have on the reverse side for Carine.
Strike one.
Two different coaching tactics that have taken place in this game, and you know, not sure which one is the right one on the day, but I think the Firebirds could have limited a few more things if they'd taken advantage of calming things down a little bit more.
It's high, out towards right field. They're running to third. Number 9, Majorian. He's going to cross. No, he's not. He's playing it safe. Whoa, you could have taken it on and have won the game, but they're not wanting to risk it yet. Players on second and third. Carine on the verge of winning their second championship of the day. They won the MP 60 a little earlier over Kalamunda, but now number 99, Tobias Waddle, now on the plate. They can steal home if they want to. Keenan Majorian. Now, Waddle, the pressure's on him. Almost attempting the bunt, but to no avail. The Cats bench anticipating that last moment. They haven't got any outs at the moment. They've still got 3 to work with. Great situation. Ooh, almost the bunt there. That looked very close. And that is 1-1. 10-10. The teams can't be separated, but they could in a moment. Strike one, strike two. 10-all, they've still got 3 outs to work with. The game riding on this moment. Lucas Werder in focus. Waddle under pressure. Strike 3, he's out. Left that one to go, 1 out. But the good thing is, Tugi, just quickly, they've still got 2 outs to work with.
Keepers on third. Intent more.
Almost the bunt. Attempted there by Leonard, and that just missed him. So strike 1. Still 2 outs to work with. Werder under a lot of pressure now. Stepping away is Leonard. 1-1 on the count with 1 out. Still got 2 outs to work with. Very tense stuff here at Madeljan Park on this Easter Monday. Strike 2.
This will be a crucial part. If he's able to here on strikeouts and maintain not letting these runners advance, that is big the favor for the young Firebird pitcher.
Strike 3, he's out. Leonard's gone. So that's 2 outs. Vincent, could he be the man of the moment? 1 more strike, and we go into extra inning possibly. But Toby Vincent is now on. Toby Vincent, could he be the man of the moment? A lot of pressure on both sides. They're feeling it. Toby Vincent, we've got players on second and third. Backing out of that one, Vincent, 1 and 0. Pressure well and truly on. Carine are feeling it. They had an ideal situation at the start of the 6th. Now it's less than ideal. 2 outs. Strike 1. 1-1, 2 outs. 10 runs apiece by both sides. It's been a great game. No matter who wins the championship, you can bet baseball is the big winner today. Vincent again backing out of that, not taking any chances. 2-1 on the count.
Obviously, 2 big strikeouts there to kind of control the game.
Toby Vincent under a lot of pressure now. One more ball and he can walk it, and we have bases loaded. He would want that. Strike 2. Good pitch there from Werder. Full count, in effect. Couldn't script this. Full count, second and third, second out, and the game all square and the championship at stake. And that's a ball. He's walking. Bases loaded. Bases are loaded, and coming in next to possibly be the hero, Lachlan Whitehead. Getting last words of encouragement from the coach. The pressure on. It is on this player, Lachlan Whitehead. 2 outs, 10 runs apiece, with the championship on the line. Werner to Whitehead. Will he take the risk? Elects not to. Strike 1. We have got a finish. What a finish to this game. Simply incredible. Whitehead, oh, looking for the steal there. Was Majorian, elected not to take the risk. One and one, 2 outs. The Cats, will they win it? Or will an extra inning be enforced? It's in the air. Whitehead's underneath it. And it's caught. It's caught. It's 10-all. And we go into the extra inning. This game is not over yet. Can you believe it? The catch on right field has sent the game into an extra inning. They cannot be separated at all. Well, well, well. We thought the Firebirds had complete control, then the Cats took it back by 2. They each scored a piece. Extra inning coming up after the break.
Harry, now you go out to right field, Tobias, you go to left field.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
Believe it or not, we can't separate the teams after 6. 10 runs apiece here at Maddleton Park. Carine Cats and the Central Firebirds with the Division 2 championship on the line. And the teams cannot be separated after 6. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you. And I'll tell you what, Guy, this final has lived up to the billing and the expectations of everyone.
Well, I mean, these were the top 2 teams from pool play for a reason, and I think they both stepped up their game. I think early on we saw a lot of nerves and a lot of errors being made. The second half of the game, we've seen the hit parade start to come about. We've seen teams take chances and starting to make some great plays. I mean, obviously, Firebirds pitcher there, runners second and third. Had to have 2 strikeouts, got them, and then, then got the pop fly there to end the inning.
And that was the catch that forced it into an extra inning off the pop fly. Fantastic catch, Charlie Moffat making that catch to send it into an extra inning. And now, what will the coaches be doing? Extra inning situation. The pressure is well and truly on. What would you be telling your players if you're either a coach of the Firebirds or the Cats?
Well, I mean, it all depends situationally. From the Firebirds' perspective, again, don't be bigger than the moment. You're looking, let's get base runners on first, and then get them over, get them in. Once you have that run scored, then you put the pressure on the Cats. But until that point, you're looking to get that runner on base.
Watt Pringle on the plate first off. He receives a strike from Nelson. Nelson has pitched very well. Got that endurance just over his head. Watt Pringle making the strides, and he's safe. Oh, another close call indeed. Let's have a look.
Close call, but the first baseman went wide of the bag, never was on it.
We just had his toe in there from where I was and was off. But Watt Pringle, great run indeed, and that is safe. And he's on first. Now it is Vlasic, Alex Vlasic, on the plate and receiving a ball there. Plenty of noise being made at both benches. No doubt this 4th game, we're going long into the night. And you can bet under the lights here at Mettleton Park, they're turned on now, even with the setting sun. The focus is still going to be right on top here for both teams. And, of course, for the Cats and the Sharks. That'll take to the field in the Division 1 championship game a little later on. Coach is having a bit of a chat there with Vlasic. I'm going to keep focus, so we've got a bit of a delay here at the moment. They're after another ball by the looks of it, after that foul.
Oh, Tobias, come in, mate. Come in. You need to be about 5 minutes closer.
Yeah, we'll have to track down Olivia. She's supposed to make sure that teams have enough game balls down there, so we'll have to give her a little bit of a hard time as we have a slight break waiting for some game balls.
And we're just seeing there.
But now all of a sudden, as we said, it changes things slightly in the sense of the Firebirds have their runner on. So now the big part is now you're looking to get him into scoring position. So from that standpoint, for Alex, we saw that first swing above her head. Don't chase some things. That's what I'm saying. Again, you're looking to put the ball in play, keep it to the right side, get that runner over to second. Will be the kind of that primary factor in terms of what we're looking for and looking to do. And from a Carine standpoint, if you have an opportunity to get it out, you got to get it.
Now we've got some game balls back, and now we can resume the extra inning. 7th inning now, extra inning here. Nelson in focus to Vlasic. Vlasic got some bat on that one, but foul ball. Still Nelson sharply focused. Vlasic hits it well. Ward shortstop, onto second. Double play, no. Vlasic safe on first. Sacrificing himself, Watt Pringle. That may have been the wrong tactic. But at the end, the player is safe on first, and Watt Pringle's out, making the run for second. So that's the first out for the Cats.
No, the right play was made. You always want to try to get that double play, and most important, you want to gun down that lead runner so that they don't have that runner in scoring position. So, Carine doing the right job. Obviously, Alex with that fielder's choice, you can't assume a double play, but that's why you also want to have runners with speed to beat out those opportunities.
That's ball 1-0.
I think this is where we've seen Nelson get a little bit wild at times. You can see him just missing the outside part of the plate, and if it's able to squirt past, expect to see Alex, swipe second.
2-0 on the count. Strike one. That's a much better pitch there from Nelson. Nelson, can he back that
now
up here?
Going into extra innings, we talk about bullpens playing a big factor into things, and a lot of times, especially for these games, as a coach, you should go in mind with 3 pitchers, but you may not always have 3 pitchers that have the required number of allotted pitches to be thrown or everything else involved.
And that's a strikeout there from Nelson. Fantastic pitching there from George Nelson. In fact, that's his first strikeout of the match.
Yeah, brothers seem to have a few more, and that's his first one, and it couldn't have come at a better time, obviously, to limit what the Firebirds can do. But when we talk about plate discipline, that one was really bad because that was thrown over his head.
Yamamoto, the left-hander, is facing Nelson next to the plate, and that's a ball. 1-0 on the count.
And Yamamoto, got hit in that first at bat and then has been super aggressive in the last 2. Continues that aggressiveness, going after pitches that aren't necessarily the best to hit.
Nelson now with a 1-on-1. Yamamoto backs out of that one, and that is a ball. 2-1. The count, 2 outs. They've got 1 out only to work with, do the Firebirds, and they've got 1 on first base. That's a good hit straight down the field. Yamamoto, they're going to tag out second. 3 outs. And now the Cats have a chance to sew up the championship. All they need is 1 in this extra inning. They fielded well and pitched well through Nelson this time. That plate discipline really hurt for the Firebirds as we see a replay of that last out. Well done there by Majorian to tag out the runner from first. Second half of the extra inning coming up. The Firebirds and the Cats still locked at 10 runs apiece.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
The pressure intensifying at the bottom of the extra inning. The Cats back on the plate have a chance to sew up the championship. The Firebirds had theirs, but they could not convert it into runs. They were stranded on first base for these hits. But now the Cats, they have a chance. They've got players along the bench just doing some practice swings as well to get them acquainted. Once again, for the second half of this extra inning, it is going to be on for young and old. 10 runs apiece. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you. Guy, the Cats, in that last inning before the extra, they got those 3 outs that they needed to. They also conceded a run, but in that second half of the last inning, they had plenty of chances themselves to sew up the game at 6. Will be interesting to see how this second half of the extra inning plays out. Can the Cats sew it up? But the Firebirds, they also, like the Cats, have been terrific. Strike one for the left-hander. And that's a good hit. Nelson just in foul territory there. That is a foul ball. So 0-1 on the count. Still got 3 outs to work with. Can they convert? That'll be the question. Or will the Firebirds force it into another? Nelson and another foul. Strike 2 as a result. Lights are fully on here at Maddleton Park. We're going well into the night here, especially with this game going into extra inning. And of course, we've got the Division 1 game still remaining. Strike 3, Nelson's gone. So that's 1 out. They've still got 2 outs to work with, but the pressure is rising. Donaldson is next. Carter Donaldson. Gone quite well in this game. Always encouraging his teammates. And a good leader of sorts. And now, the right-hander. Striving to create an opportunity here. Strike 1. Werder has pitched very well indeed, under a lot of pressure. Not only in the 6th inning, but also at the bottom half of this, the extra inning. And that one just over the fence there, foul ball. That's strike 2. 0-2. 1 out. And again, another edge over the fence, foul ball. We're going to have a delay again. In fact, no, we're not. Thought we were out of game balls again, but this time we're not. Still a spare ball there for Werner. Nelson pops it high towards first. Oh, and almost a collision and caught it. Oh, that's a great catch. A brilliant catch there from Sam Chernett. Almost a collision, but luckily it was able to be hung on to. 2 outs for the Cats. The pressure on again.
Did a great job there by Werder this half inning, obviously pumping the strike zone. Really good battle there. Gets the 2 outs. Really need to see that one continue here moving into this next batter and keep the pressure on.
Now facing Werder is Groves. 1-1. Good hit from Groves, but equally well fielded by Werder. And it's 3 outs and we're at it again. Goodness gracious me, they still can't be separated.
That's a really great inning there by Werder. He didn't have to throw a lot of pitches. He's able to maintain that presence, the poise. And now they need to take that momentum in and see if they can get a run or 2 out of it.
The second extra inning coming up now at Maddleton Park. It is 10 runs apiece. They still can't be separated.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
We're now into the second extra inning. The Alcohol Think Again Little League Division 2 State Championship. The Cats and the Firebirds still cannot be separated. You cannot script anything like this. This is an incredible game to cap off what has been a big weekend of State League Championship baseball here in the West. Joining us live, Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you, thanks to Front Row Screen Sport. The second extra innings just about to get underway. The score locked in at 10 apiece, and it has been since the last regular inning. Narelle Ward, shout out to you. Fantastic to see a great challenge in the finals. Well, it certainly has been. It's been a final that has exceeded a lot of expectations and then some. What has been a fascinating game. Nelson's going to be on the mound again for the Cats. Spare a thought for the Division 1 sides, the Sharks and the Cats, that are coming up after this game. They're having to wait a little longer because this game is still yet to find a winner. What a game it has been. And getting ready for the first of the at-bat for this innings. Sam Crutchett is now out there. Bit of a delay there as the base umpire there for this game, getting the helmet on. Now Nelson to Crutchlet for the top of the 8th.
What we should see now in the second extra inning, the international rules come into effect, and you get runners first and second. So it's just a way of adding a little bit of extra wrinkle in and trying to get a winner.
Well, both sides can't be separated after the extra inning. And those rules obviously spice things up a little bit. It's going to be on here, this second extra inning. Oh, and a high one there. Got Crutchett ducking, but he read it well. Ducked just right, just in time. And this time, strike 2. 2-2 for Crutchett. Nelson has been pitching very well, under a lot of pressure too. And that one just edge off the top. And a foul ball. Pressure really on. This game is nearly gone for 3 hours. But it has been action for all.
And sorry, I think I misspoke. I think I said first and second. It is just runner on second.
Runner on second for Yamamoto it is. Yamamoto is on that second. Under those international rules, as you mentioned, Guy, really adds some extra spice and eager to determine a winner. And that is the 4th ball. Crutchlet's walking, or 3rd ball, rather.
Yeah, it's really, it adds an element of to the game. It allows either, you know, the offensive team to put down a bunt, really put the pressure on by getting that runner in. But you know, the best part is you have to take advantage of those situations, because now you're presented with a pressure point of runners first and second here with nobody out, and you don't want an inning to get out of hand.
Nelson having a chat with the coach. We may see a rotation again. There's Flynn Nelson. Oh no, that's not Flynn Nelson, rather. That is Keenan Majorian. We may see a change. We won't. So Nelson will stay there on the mound.
No, yeah. Generally, when the coach heads over to the scoring table, you're going to see a change. But You know, this is that interesting thing. I've said all along, I thought the Carine coach has done well to come out in those situations and at least slow the moment. Whether he makes the change here or not, he might be checking the pitch count, which I have a feeling he is because he's going to be leaving him in the game.
He is.
Because if you go over, if you go over the pitch count, you can continue throwing to the batter you were throwing to. So,
well, he is staying there, and you could be right. If he exceeds that pitch count as you expected, continuing to the batter that he's throwing to at present, but he might have to change after. And that one's also
correct.
High ball, and that's a foul.
So that was probably, you know, a twofold. Just go down, you know, tell him how to attack the hitter, you know, make sure he stays within himself, and then probably confirming to see where they are, just so he's able to figure out what his next strategy will be as well.
And that's a good hit towards shortstop. Looking for the double play. They won't get it. And there could be a run. Yamamoto flies to home and scores. The deadlock's broken. Deadlock broken in the extra inning. The Firebirds score, as we see on the replay. Yamamoto putting in the big ones towards the home plate and touches home plate to take the lead for the undefeated Firebirds.
You know, and that's a big play. I think that was a great job. One of two things that I saw there, though, the shortstop waited for that ball to come to him. I thought it was a slow hit ground ball, so it was going to make turning two very tough. And it looks like we will see that pitching change take place now.
Yep.
But, you know, that's one of those things, and we talk about it being a game of inches and just the small little things. Waiting on that ball then makes that a tough double play. And I think he rushed his throw trying to get that second out, and as a result, didn't have a great throw. That one was able to scoot away. Yamamoto able to come around and score from second on the play, and then obviously now you have a runner back in scoring position at second. So
the new pitcher, by the looks of things, is Keenan Majorian, coming on to replace George Nelson, who's pitched very well throughout the game, especially under a lot of pressure in this extra inning. Fantastic stuff that he's done.
I think both Nelson brothers have had fine games. I mean, obviously, the first one, you know, had 4 strikeouts in his 4 innings of work, and then we've seen the other Nelson come in on the back half of that one and you know, limit the Firebirds. Obviously, they were able to piece runs against him, but I thought he did a great job. He wasn't the overpowering one. I think he only had 1 strikeout to his favor from that standpoint, but I thought he did a great job of placement.
Another important thing out of this equation as well, they've still got 2 outs to work with at the Firebirds, and they've got runners on second.
And the runner on second here is key, and it's able to keep the pressure on the Cats because, as I said, you don't want to let this inning get out of hand. I mean, you only get to start with the 1 additional runner on base, so if they allow that second runner in, they're going to have to string a few hits together in the bottom half of the inning.
Players just deliberating over tactics. They've got Steinman on the plate now, and Majorian will be the 3rd pitcher that Carine have used in this game. The Firebirds have only used 2 at the moment, but also they may have to check the pitch count as well on the current batter on the plate. And now Steinman ready to face Majorian.
Steinman, obviously the first pitcher on the day, and while he's not the pitcher of record since we've gone to extra innings, he's looking to help out his cause and better his team into that championship.
Well, the Cats will still have that bottom half of the extra inning to go in order to still snatch the victory. The Firebirds are right where they want to be, in front, albeit by, of course, 11-10. Oh, Cahill sneaking into 3rd, and that's where he goes.
You know, and that's a big 60 feet advance right there. You know, it doesn't get credited enough, but with only the 1 out, now any ball put in play should score a run.
And that's a good hit from Steinman. It's in the air. Oh, and completely missing that one. Leonard, and that's going to be 2 runs scored. No, it's just 1. Cale scores. And now the advantage is increased by 2. 12-10 in the second extra inning. They've still got 2 outs to play with.
Yeah, so a big hit by Semien. He's able to help his own cause as he was the starting pitcher. Fielder got there, but just kind of misjudged it at the end. But smart base running. He was tagging when the play wasn't made. He scooted home for the run.
Leaving that one is word up. One and 0, 1 out. Majorian to Werder. And that one's a pop fly towards the mount. You got a call for it. Got it. Majorian makes the catch. Well called by Majorian, and he makes a good catch just by the mount. 2 outs. They're very keen to get that 3rd out and look to get back on the plate to the game. But the all-important advantage is with the Firebirds. It is still on for young and old in this game.
Yeah, the important part for the Firebirds was getting that 2nd run across. I think the 2nd run really kind of puts the pressure on. If they're able to piece together anything else.
And another great catch. Majorian on the run, almost colliding with Oscar Fricker. And that'll be the end of the top of the 8th. 2 very good catches, bringing the first half of the second extra inning to an end. And it is now 12-10, 10-8 in base hits and 6-5 in ease now. It promises to be a very interesting conclusion to the extra inning. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you in the commentary box. And we promise you it is going to be an electrifying finish. Second half of the extra inning coming up. 12-10. The Firebirds lead. Can they cap off a perfect season? Or will it be the Cats that will bring the title back to their way? Back with more after this. The bottom of the 8th, just about to get underway.
I spend my waking hours studying sleep. Lack of it causes drowsiness, slowing reactions. 17 to 19 hours awake can induce microsleep. A few seconds of this can be catastrophic. So to prevent it, know the amount of sleep you need and get it regularly. Travis here didn't. Which is why he's not a subject of mine, but a patient of theirs.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Mum, Dad, I need you to say no. I don't want to drink now. I've heard the damage it can do to my brain.
But I might change my mind later.
And say things like you did it when you were my age. Matt's dad lets him do it.
I might even tell you you're ruining my life!
But I need you to be a parent. I need you to say no.
2 out of 3 parents are choosing to say no, and it's helping prevent alcohol-related harm.
Welcome back to Mandelton Park. You can bet your bottom dollar. The pressure is well and truly up once again for the Firebirds and the Cats. Second half of the extra inning, 12-10. The Firebirds able to score and break the long deadlock. And that leaves the Cats with their backs to the wall now. And we've got a new pitcher, a 3rd pitcher for the Firebirds. That is number 9, Sam Crutchett, a Willetton player. Pressure well and truly on both sides. Guy Belair and Paul Persick with you. Guy, 3rd pitcher being used. No better time to have a fresh pitcher for the second half of this second extra inning when you've got a really good lead.
Yeah, and I kind of expected to see this one. It's always easier to bring a pitcher on to start an inning, fresh, no base runners. Obviously, with the international rule, we do start with the runner on 2, but with the 2-run lead, the key here is just pound that strike zone, take it out where it's given, and you know, work your way to bring home a championship. From a Carine perspective, you've got the runner on second. You know, it's a little bit different. You're not chasing the 1 run this time, so now all of a sudden the tying run is at the plate, so you still have to get another guy on base before you can even start thinking about it. And then your winning run is on deck. So they have their work cut out for them. They have to piece together a few hits, but from Central Firebirds perspective, just, you know, pound the strike zone and get the outs.
Who's going to be the one on second base? That's the question. It's going to be Leonard that will start on second.
It should be the last out. Should be the last out.
Leonard will start things on second base. And who's going to have the first hit of the second half of this extra inning? And there we see him on your screen. That is Massimo Bruzzese, who's got 2 runs to his name. Will be interesting to see.
You know, if this game had ended in the 4th inning, I think Massimo was your player of the game with 2 big hits to start it. He's gone a little bit quiet since, but you know, here's an opportunity to stake his claim.
Well, he certainly has been a key one to watch. And as you said, first half of the game, first 4 innings, he really made 2 big statements, 2 runs. Strike 1. Firebirds looking to cap off a perfect season, perfect campaign. They won 5 from 5 in their preliminary rounds. And a win here will cap off a perfect campaign. But the Cats, they are determined to take that lead back and either force it into another extra inning or, more importantly, win it and take the championship with them. And that is 2. And there's a slide. Leonard steals third and scores. That's a big score for Leonard. And now it's 11-12, 1-run difference. Will we see another tie?
Well, you know, that's twice we've seen the Carine runners go on a throwback to the pitcher, and I'm not opposed to that one, but I think it's a really lazy effort, both from pitcher and catcher from the Firebirds. And then to not only, you know, while I think he had an opportunity to get the runner at third again, it was still kind of a half-hearted effort and rushed. It wasn't a set throw. So, but at the end of the day, that one doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt you, kill you, anything. Because you still have the 1-run lead.
2 strikes, keep in mind, for Crutchet. And very high one there, a bit wide of the plate. That's allowed Bruzzese to sway out of the way there. And again, a foul ball.
And based on where Bruzzese is setting up on the plate, I'm not surprised to see them pitching away, because he's quite a bit off the plate.
Well hit by Bruzzese. And gone. Great throw by Crutchet on towards first base. And that is the first out. Now they've still got 2 outs to work with, do the Cats. But of course, the Firebirds want to make good use of them. A good throw by Crutchet onto first base. Nicely caught by the player at first. And 1 out to the Firebirds. They're now down to 2. And a strike. Whoa, interesting one there. That looked a bit wide of the plate from the monitor.
I'm going to say, I think we've seen the zone change just a little bit this game.
2 strikes.
Based a little bit on kind of who's pitching or how they pitch, which normally doesn't happen, but...
Gone. Wilkinson's gone. Struck out. Another strikeout. Crutchet. And the Firebirds, they're 1 out away from completing a perfect campaign. All they have to do is get the next man out. And it is Nelson Nelson, who pitched very well in the second half of the game. Although he only got one strikeout, his contribution cannot be ignored. And now he's got his back to the wall.
I was going to say, this one's kind of interesting because if you think about it, in terms of a player that wants to get the job done, I would want to be coming up there, I'd be carrying my bat. We saw him kind of drag his bat all the way. And so in terms of the mental aspect of the game, I'm not sure he's there. I think he knows his back's against the wall and not sure he wants that stage.
Well, only time will tell. We've got 2 balls. He could walk it. And that'll ease the pressure just slightly for them to not only get 2 runs and snatch the game. 3 balls. Just going through the steady windmill action. You don't want to take any risks if you're a player like this. As he said, Gee, you know, on those rogue pitches, he recognises those pitches going rogue outside the plate. So he's done well to his credit. And he walks. I think that was brilliantly done by Nelson, recognising that he pictured those pitches going away from the plate and was able to walk it towards first.
I think he was relieved. You saw him just, you know, cross his hands and put them together to say, oh, thank God. I think he was more relieved to reach base because I don't think he wanted the pressure of that at-bat.
But to his credit, you know, he wrote it quite well. A very good job from him.
He did. And I think a little bit of that one, I tell you, I liked the shortstop Campbell's ability. He tried to go talk to his pitcher down 3-0. This is the first time we've seen the Firebirds coach come out and talk to players in the moment. This is what I've been asking her to do all game. And I think this one is that crucial stage because you still have the 1-run lead. So your tying run is on first. The winning run is coming to the plate. All you have to do is get 1 out. Get 1 out.
Just 1.
But I think just the 1. And I think that's the best thing that you could have done right there is come refocus them. Because as we said, the Carine hitter, he was just relieved to reach base. I didn't get to see the hitter walk up here to know what kind of moment he's in.
Well, he's sort of like the same as Nelson, I'd have to say, but a little more settled.
Yeah. You know, that's the difference. Some players want these moments and live for them.
Nelson looking to steal second.
Great job.
Oh, he's got it. He's gone. The Firebirds' perfect campaign is complete. The Firebirds are Division 2 champions for 2022.
What a play.
What an incredible play. Well executed throw from the catcher's position. And the Firebirds, Division 2 champions, a perfect campaign, 5 from 5 in the preliminary rounds. They have won the final today and have made it a championship winning campaign after 2 extra innings. What an incredible game, Get. You could not ask for anything better.
No, you really couldn't. And great job by both of these teams. I mean, obviously, the 2 best teams based on pool play. 2 best teams. We couldn't be separated for 8+ innings. We had to go into a 9th in order to decide it. Great job by both of these teams.
Simply incredible. 12-11, a 1-run win for the Firebirds, and the perfect campaign completed here at Madelgin Park. 12-11, you could not script it. We had to go to 8 innings to separate the sides. They were 10 all at one stage, and they scored 2. There's heartbreak for Carine, but elation for the Firebirds. As we'll go down to the field at the moment for the presentations. The team's now starting to gather, and there the Firebirds saying hello to one of our cameras. And given the fist pump as well, and a bit of a bow and arrow there. How about that? The bow and arrow celebration. Might be doing a bit of archery as well. Fantastic stuff. But what a game. Over 3 hours of great action. It took over 3 hours to determine a winner. And it was the Central Firebirds. An incredible game, 12-11. Let's go down to centre field for the presentations. No matter who won today, baseball was the winner.
Matt, are you still listening?
Again, Little League Division 2 State Championships. That is what baseball is about. Thank you for all coming out today. My name's Olivia, I'm the tournament director, and it has been an absolute privilege to watch all of the players this tournament. It has been amazing to see some of the plays, the enthusiasm, even despite some of the late nights. So well done to everyone. Yes, a lot of late nights. A few thank yous before we move on to the stars of the show. So I'd like to thank the Warrnambool Baseball Club for hosting the tournament. Without them, this wouldn't happen. There is so many hours beforehand, afterwards, behind the scenes to get this going. So without Warrnambool, so can you guys say thank you to the Warrnambool Baseball Club? With a special thanks to the ground crew and canteen volunteers as well. I'd like to thank all the coaches, the assistant coaches and the EOs. It doesn't stop when they walk off the diamond. I know they talk about it, think about it, dream about it up to the tournament. So thank you to the coaches, the EOs, the assistant coaches for everything that you're doing. Scorers, thank you very much. Parents, parents, thank you for being their biggest fan. Thank you for taking them to trainings, sitting and waiting while they're running around for hours on it. Thank you for bringing them to the game. Players, make sure you thank your parents afterwards, okay? Mike, thank you for taking the photos. He's been running around and taking the photos that have been going up on Facebook. And love them or hate them, thank you to our umpires. Without them, we wouldn't have a game, and we've had a few that pulled out, and the guys that have stepped up have been amazing. So thanks to our umpires. I'd like to ask the Carine coach to come and say a few words, please.
Thanks Olivia for running such a tight ship. It's been a fantastic tournament, a lot of challenges. What a game. You guys, that was incredible, and considering we're developing set of teams, the standard of play was amazing. The flash baseball there at the moments that you guys took. Congratulations. When we played the other night, you took the moments, you thought, we had a chance today. We can take that ball and hit it once again. We had runners second and third, none out, and catcher blocked that ball, and you took that amazing catch. So there was their moments, and you guys deserve the joy of the win. But to my guys, really fantastic effort. We're so proud of you as Green Cats. It's a club on the move, and you guys are the future, and I can't wait to see what happens as you go forward. So well done.
I'd like to invite the coach of Central Firebirds to come up, say a few words.
Thank you also to Olivia and to everybody here. Thank you so much to Warrnambool Baseball Club. This facility is amazing, and I feel very privileged to have been able to bring our team here and play here. Just exactly the same as the coach from Carine. Oh my goodness, folks, that was amazing. There was so much in that game. The defence was fantastic from both teams, and then when you guys went out there and hit those 6 runs, we were thinking, oh my goodness, how are we going to bring it back from here? And well done to you guys for doing that. But that was honestly, I'm surprised I'm still standing, as I'm sure those coaches are as well, because that was fantastic. I just really enjoyed every single one of that. Thank you so much to the supporters out there, for everyone that stayed to watch this. It's fantastic to see. And to you guys, thank you for finally looking and recognising the signals that were put onto you. Thank you for listening, for giving it your absolute all, especially in those last couple of weeks. You did so well and you've done yourselves proud. I know how proud your parents are of you, so well done to you guys. So well done to both Carine and Firebirds. Give yourselves a clap. And thank you so much to our EO, Sarah, and the two assistant coaches here, Richie and Scotty. Definitely could not do it without you. You guys are absolute legends. Okay, so for each of the players here, I'll go just down the line here. So to our fantastic second catcher who got that last out, well done, Alex Vlasic. To my own little man who finished off the pitch in there, well done, Sam Cratchit. A young champion who's played so well all game, well done, Reece Cahill. To our second pitcher, an absolute little legend, Lucas Werder. To an absolute little star who never stops talking, Cody Drew. To our amazing lead-off pitcher, well done, Alexander Steinman. To a great little champion who improved so much throughout this, well done, Daniel Weston Doncaster. To a little all-round legend who works really hard all the time, well done, Julian Watt-Bringle. To the guy who hit a home run in our first game, Archie Moffat. To our little Japanese import who's an absolute star, Haruki Yamamoto. To a guy who works very, very hard in every aspect of his game. Well done, Charlie Moffat. And to our only lady who does the ladies proud, well done, Jamie Vlasic. Thanks again, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the season and everything. One on to the coaches. Well done, coaches. Well done, Richie Werner. To our amazing EO, Sarah Moffat. To our other assistant coach, Scotty Drew. For our scorers, Jen and Kazu, thank you so much for you guys out there. And to the lady who should never be given a microphone because she loves it too much, Jenny Cratchit. And on that note, I would like to present Central Firebirds with the shield for the Little League Division 2 State Championships. Thanks, guys.
Well, now, that's the moment of celebration for the Firebirds. And as Carine walk off with dignity, they'll look forward to the rest of the season. But what a game. Here are some of the highlights of what was a fantastic encounter. Lived up to all expectations and then some. The Central Firebirds, the champions, a perfect campaign of 6 wins straight to take out the Shield. And my golly, it was a game that everyone deserves to be a winner in. Baseball was the winner today. And you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be more winners in the Division 1 championship game that is going to take place a little later on. And make no mistake about it, If the Division 2 final's anything to go by, the Division 1 final promises to be a belter. The Cats and the Sharks, the Coastal Bay Sharks, who are aiming to take the title for themselves as well. We look forward to seeing you then. Get great insight from you. We'll see you back here for the last game of the day. And we look forward to your company, viewers around the state, the nation, and around the world. But in Division 2 in the Little League Championship, thanks to Alcohol Think Again, the Central Firebirds in 2 extra innings defeated Carine 12-11 in an absolute thriller.
Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Even though I try to replace you, but loneliness makes me break down. Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Waiting for a touch, you say no day. Nothing could really take your place.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your grave. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. I waited for you in the passenger seat. There's only so far I can ride.